Oh, well, the numbers of everything. Okay, go Al.
Hey, what's up, man? It's the Black Spinner Circle vidcast. I'm Al. How you guys doing? My co-host Andy below me. How you doing, brother?
Everybody.
How you doing, my friend?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing fantastic. I'm so excited to do the show. This is the week of St. Patrick's Day, and it's great to do this with an Irish band by the name of Thin Lizzy. I'm so excited that we're doing the Thin Lizzy show. They really do deserve a lot more than what they do here in America. So go for it.
Yeah, I came up with an idea, being Thin Lizzy to me is the greatest export out of Ireland, bar none. I had this idea, triple track Throwdown. We take 3 albums, and they all have 9 tracks. So we got Jailbreak, Black Rose, and Thunder and Lightning. And the reason I picked those 3 also, not only because they all have 9 tracks each, but they have 3 different lineups. So you have the core lineup of everybody, but then you got 3 different guitar players. I mean, you got Robbo, you got Gary Moore, obviously, on Black Rose, and you got John Sykes on their final album. Yeah, Butch got the shirt. Thunder and Lightning. That's Butch's man right there.
That's my guy.
We got
fucking Sykes.
Exactly.
We got an awesome panel of guests tonight. First of all, and if Butch can reach through the screen and smack me, he probably would. I went and I posted on his the Butcher. I'm sorry, man. It's
Butcher Shop.
Butcher Shop on Facebook, his Facebook page, which is an awesome page. If you're not on it, go on it. It's my man knows everything about like rock and hard rock metal and a lot of different kind of music too, but it's hard rock metal over there. So I went and I posted that I'm doing the show tonight, and he's like, "What's the matter, man? You don't invite me?" And I'm like, I do the proverbial like head smack. I'm like, when I think of Thin Lizzy, he's like the first guy that pops into my mind because to me, he's like the Thin Lizzy historian. So, Butch, I apologize. I thank you for short notice. And then we were texting each other. He's like, "Oh, it's kind of short notice." I'm like, "Dude, you fucking know these albums inside but out. You could probably go through this like we're,
It's gonna be painful, man. I'll tell you right now, it's gonna be fucking painful."
So, and then he was like, "Yeah, all right." So we don't normally go on at 9, but because it was better for him to start at 8.
I appreciate it.
We started a little earlier. So thank you, Butch. I appreciate you, brother.
No, thank you, man. Like I said, anytime I can talk Lizzy for a while, this is great, and have some Lizzy whiskey with us here, so we're good, man. This is a great idea. I gotta tell you, I love this idea. This is really cool. It's gonna hurt, but it's really cool.
It hurts, yeah. From the Decibel Geek podcast, we got my man Chris Sinzak there. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on. And yeah, as I said in the chat earlier with you guys, I was like, I'm putting these songs up against you. I'm like, this is going to be a lot harder and a lot more painful than I expected it to be. But I'm excited to do it, though.
From my man Brad, Yarg Metal. How you doing, Brad?
Doing great, man. Glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, awesome, man. It's awesome always to have you on the show, brother. You hadn't been on in a long time, and then now finally you're coming around again. So I love the background too, man, with all the guitars and
well, I figured this is all bass stuff here. I figured since we're talking about Phil Lynott, I would go all bass today and no drums. We're going to cut the drums.
There's the drums over there.
There you go. Out of this.
And Phil says thanks.
Phil, man, nice. The one and only. We got my man Travis Parada. How you doing, Trav?
I'm great, guys. Thanks for having me on. I love Thin Lizzy, so it's always a pleasure to talk about them.
Awesome, man. We usually have a segment called "What's Spinning," where we showcase an album or whatever, something you've been spinning. But we're going to forego that tonight because we got a full panel. We want to get right to the topic at hand. But before we do that, we're going to go around the horn again real quick. And just a few words on how you came to discover Lizzy and how you got into them, and maybe the first time you ever saw them live. I mean, I don't know if anybody here has actually ever seen the original band, of course, but probably not. But what they mean to you, or whatever, and like in 500 words or less. Butch, go ahead, my friend. I know you're gonna be the man here. So my man Butch right here is the historian. Right here. So
I just love Lizzy today. Is it okay to swear on this one? Because
of course, man.
Okay, good.
Phil fucking line it, bro.
There you go. I don't know. I mean, here in, obviously being in the States, you grew up hearing Boys Are Back in Town and Jailbreak on the radio and maybe Cowboy Song. And then I also remember hearing Hollywood. So they were out there, but it was never, like they weren't my band when I was younger because you didn't see anything about them. They weren't in the magazines here or anything. But I can say when I got into Kerrang! Magazine in '82, that became the Bible. And they spoke about Lizzy like every issue. And that was right around the time, 82 going into 83 when Thunder and Lightning was coming out. So they were all over Kerrang! So it was like, okay, all right, I guess I need to find out more about Thin Lizzy. I know those 2 or 3 songs. And that, I think, honestly, that was the gateway. That was it. I got that. I got Thunder and Lightning. And then it was, okay, now I got to figure out how I'm going to find all these other albums on vinyl that are almost impossible to find in this country. And that took a while, but I found them. But yeah, that I think that was it. It was Kerrang! Kerrang! Was the Bible of everything in the 80s. Once you found Kerrang!, your world just changed. If you listen to them, every band that they talked about ended up becoming like your favorite bands of your life.
So Thunder and Lightning was your first one, man?
I think I had Jailbreak.
Okay.
Because that was, you could go out in any place and get that.
That was because it had Boys Are Back in Town.
Yeah. That was the easy one. I had that, and then I believe that Thunder and Lightning was number 2, and then I think like Chinatown was somewhat easy to find, and so was Renegade, but everything else, and Live and Dangerous too.
Yeah.
So those were there, but I think Jailbreak was number 1, and if I'm not mistaken, Thunder and Lightning was number 2, and then that was like 84, 85 when I started really getting into it. Finishing up high school and then finding out that Phil died in January of '86, and then it was okay. Now I got to track all this shit down, and it took a long time. And I remember finding Bad Reputation in Boston, and then having to wait to come. I had never heard anything from it. I remember John Bush from Armored Saint had told me in like '84, "Oh, we love Lizzy. You got to find Bad Reputation." So that was always in my head. Had no idea what any of the songs sounded like or anything. Found out what the cover to look like, so I knew what to look for, and found it in this used shop in Boston, and had to wait until I came home like 3 days later to actually hear it. So
wow, man.
I think that was how it came in fruition for me, for sure.
That's awesome, man. Chris, how about you, brother?
Well, I mean, I was a very, very late to the party with Thin Lizzy, so like it is one of the many bands that if it wasn't for doing my show Decibel Geek, I probably never would have dove in on them like I did, but it was years ago, and as you guys, as we all know, we're content creators, so we like to do stuff with other content creators like we're doing right now. And I had a buddy of ours that's local here, a guy named Greg Troyan, who just absolutely worships Thin Lizzy, come on the show because he's like, "You guys need to do a Thin Lizzy episode." I'm like, "Well, come on and do it with us." And he's like, "We'll just go through the whole discography." And this guy just straight up educated us for like 2 hours. And then I started diving in on the records. I mean, obviously I knew Boys Are Back in Town. I knew Jailbreak. I mean, especially Boys Are Back in Town. That one got a lot of airplay, and it was like, just like one of my other favorite bands, the Ramones. It's like, if I hear one song by Thin Lizzy, then I know what I'm listening to for the rest of the day. It's just, you have to just keep going. And they did that for me. So I guess really like 2012 was when I first really got into them. So yeah, very early into the time that we did our show, and I just became addicted to them. I couldn't listen to anything but them for months. It became an obsession. Also tracking down as much info as I could on them, wanting to hear the story and learning about Phil and his upbringing. And there's just such a fascinating story behind the scenes with that band. All the drama with all the member changes, of course, the drug usage. I mean, they may not have become the giant stadium band we all think they should have, but there's certainly more than enough interesting stuff to talk about. And the legacy I still say if Phil had lived, man, he would be one of the elder statesmen of rock and roll, would have been looked at as a true legend, which he should be. But the 2012 when I got into them, and they're one of my top 5 favorite groups. And quick little personal thing, I was thinking about this earlier today. My top 5 artists are Thin Lizzy, the Ramones, Kiss, Alice Cooper, and Judas Priest. And the common thread with all of them is they were all bands and artists that were outsiders to the mainstream, and I think they tend to appeal to people that are more the outsiders. And at least it worked that way for me. And it's just like, well, what is it sounds like I need to go to therapy, but yeah, it's there's just something very different about them. And I think they're just I can't say enough good things about them. I'm gonna say plenty more as we go.
All right, cool, man. Brad, how about you, my friend?
My story goes back to 1976. Back in those days, I mean, there's really only 4 bands I listened to back then, and I was always looking for another hard rock band. So I'd go to record stores and look through the albums and look at the album covers and try to, that looks like that might be a hard rock album. So I saw Jailbreak, and I coerced a friend into buying it. That's usually the way I worked. Hey, dude, you should buy this, and let's go check it out. So,
hey, let me borrow that.
Exactly. Yeah. We'd all borrow each other's albums. It was my UFO albums were the most borrowed of all my albums, and they'd always come back just scratched to hell. So I bought them over and over and over, but it was worth it. But yeah, but Jailbreak, and I remember going over to his house and sitting there listening to it, and I got to be honest, man, when I was like, yeah, this just isn't hard rock enough for me.
I can understand, honestly.
Yeah, but so as time went on, I played in a lot of different bands, played a lot of different music, ended up playing some Lizzy and later bands, probably in the late 80s. And was like, you know what, this stuff's actually pretty damn cool. And so then, started listening to more. So that's my story.
All right, Travis, man, how about you, man?
That's an interesting question. And I got to say, before how I discovered Thin Lizzy, what Chris Czynszak said about the 3 bands like Judas Priest and Thin Lizzy being outsiders when it comes to like mainstream rock. I have to throw in, of course, Thin Lizzy and another band that I find kind of similar to Thin Lizzy at some points, UFO.
Of course.
I'm a huge UFO fan, and I got into them the same time I got into Thin Lizzy. But with Thin Lizzy, I used to be subscribed to. I used to have Xfinity. And I used to have Xfinity, and there was a classic rock channel where they played hits and deep tracks. And Bad Reputation came on, and I never heard of Thin Lizzy before. And I heard that, I'm like, God damn.
You're like, what the fuck is this?
And I thought it was great. And I was meaning to check them out, so I bought the dedication, The Very Best of Thin Lizzy, to kind of get acquainted with them, and I really dug it. And then when I used to listen to Eddie Trunk Rocks before he just became overbloated and full of himself, he played like some cool deep tracks from Thin Lizzy, and I really got into them. So I started seeking out the studio albums, and I became a huge fan instantly.
Oh, cool, man.
Man, I tell people all the time, I'll go someplace and somehow Lizzy comes up or talking about music. And I say to people, my favorite band is Thin Lizzy. And people look at me like, I don't think I know them. I'm like, you do. Like, no, I'm telling you, I don't think I do. Ever heard Boys Are Back in Town? Oh, yeah. I'm like, yeah, that's Thin Lizzy. Oh, you ever heard of the song Jailbreak? Yeah, I know that song. Oh, yeah, that's Thin Lizzy. Oh, but I thought you didn't know.
It's the sad thing with Judas Priest with casual people breaking the law. Oh, I know that one.
But Judas Priest, I think, was a lot bigger in this country, though. They had, they were much more known. To me, like with Thin Lizzy, UFO is kind of the same trajectory. And even people might not even know one song by UFO in this country, really. Lights Out might be the only one, right. Really.
Too Hot to Handle.
Yeah.
Too Hot to Handle and Doctor.
Yeah. But that's if you really listen to like quote unquote rock radio, like back in the day. It's like they never crossed over into pop at all, like some sort of pop. Whereas Judas Priest, you're not gonna they coming. I heard that on kind of top 40, and so back in the day. But anyway, Andy, go ahead, brother, your story.
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm also very, very new to Thin Lizzy. I mean, just from a few years ago. Of course, Jailbreak. I always heard, the boys are back in town, and Jailbreak, and the Cowboy song, which I knew very well, but I never really gave them a chance. And then my buddy, we were on vacation with our families. He said, "Hey, have you ever heard the album?" I said, "No, just those songs." And then when I heard the album, I was like, "Wow! I never knew that Phil was such a great writer." It caught me by surprise, the subject matter and the words that he used, and he was so poetic. So and then I kind of let him go, and then another night I was here in Houston, and there was an emergency where I had to go back to Corpus. And I'd left Houston at 1:30 in the morning with my uncle, and it's about a 4-hour drive. He said, "Have you ever heard this album, Thunder and Lightning by Thin Lizzy?" I said, "No, I've
Nice.
never heard it." I was just familiar with Jailbreak, and when he put it on, it blew me away. I was like, "This is Thin Lizzy?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "From the guys that sang The Boys Are Back in the Town, this is that Thin Lizzy?" He goes, "Yes." It sounded so different.
And you made it to
Um,
Corpus Christi in 2 hours.
exactly. And
Well, that's
it
a
was like
banger,
in the
man.
middle of the night, and he put that on. I was just like, "Wow, this is great." And then when I started doing Black Spinner Circle, Al and I have been doing a lot of shows together for a couple of years, man, maybe even up to 3. And we did one. We did top 11 songs by Thin Lizzy, and he said, "Can you do that?" I said, "Yeah, I can do that." So I deep dove into everything for
And that
about a
was hard. And that was hard just picking 11 songs. Jesus,
yeah,
man.
and
Butch can feel the pain on that one, man.
wow. And ever since that moment, they were just a band that I just think that they're fantastic. And really, it's yes, the dual guitars are great, and it's great to hear the drums. But Phil's words, his songwriting is just so immaculate. When he can really turn the dime of storytelling, and then do not just any kind of ballad, but just a hard. I'm so sorry, not a hard rock, but a good rock ballad and it's not cheesy at all. It's
Exactly.
very
Yeah.
heartfelt,
He didn't write
and
any
I
snappy
really
ballads.
enjoy his
Nah.
songwriting. And when he tells a story, you can see good songs. You can see the scenes in your head, and that's what Phil Lynott does for me. So
Absolutely.
that's my words on Thin Lizzy. I think they're fantastic, and they're going up on my chart for me, definitely. So I'm very excited about this. I went so many times on picking different songs of what was going to win each battle. So I'm ready to go. Al?
Um,
All
I
right.
I was a little late to the Lizzie party as well. I mean, I certainly knew. I graduated high school in 1990, so my high school years was 86 to 90, and I certainly knew Boys Are Back in Town and Jailbreak. Those are really the two songs that I knew.
Right.
I went over a friend's house one time, and it was my friend Rob, and then he actually got me into playing guitar. We met in '84 when we started junior high. So I met him walking home from school one time, and we started talking about music and our favorite bands and everything. And I mean, Lizzy didn't come up that early, but I became best friends with him. And anyway, like late in high school, actually when I was graduating high school, I went over his house and I saw that he had a whole bunch of cassettes and shit like that, and he had Jailbreak, obviously, and then he had Live and Dangerous. So he let me borrow them, and I knew Boys and Back in Town and Jailbreak and stuff like that. So I listened to the whole album. I was like, wow, this album's great. I listened to the live album. I was even more blown away. I loved that live album. Was like, that's in the top like 10 live albums for me, And I went out, and this was, we just graduated high school. So I went out and I bought Dedication, the Best of Thin Lizzy on CD, just to have something, because that was really the only thing I could find on CD, like at the store I went to or something. So I lived with that for a while, and then I ended up getting Renegade. I found that, and then I drifted off them a little bit. I didn't for a couple of years, for quite a few years actually. And then I would listen once in a while to them, and whatever they came on the radio, it kind of sparked me to like listen to those albums again. But I didn't really go further than those albums. It wasn't until I really deep dove them when I saw Butch, you and Pete on Sea of Tranquility. You guys were ranking the Thin Lizzy albums. You guys were sitting next to each other in the same room, okay? And it was you had me in stitches, Butch, because it was just the pain in your eyes trying to rank these albums was making me laugh, but it was just like I could feel the pain because if I had to rank Rush albums, which is my favorite band of all time, I'd feel the same way. You know what I mean? But
it's like which one of your children do you want to slap upside the head?
Exactly. Oh, it's like picking your it's like favoritism in children or something, man. Anyway, so you sparked.
I've actually still got the list here.
Oh, nice.
12. I still have them.
Nice.
Yeah. And I probably would change some of the order now.
I just want to. Oh yeah, because on a show you were like, "Hey, tomorrow the order might, or next week the order might be different," which is what happened with all our favorite bands. I'm sure the list would change. Your favorites change all the time. Maybe your top one or two. It might stay the same. But anyway, you sparked me into like trying to get the rest of the catalog. Awesome. And I even private messaged you. I don't know if you remember this, but I was like, Butch, thanks for making me deep dive back into Lizzy. And then you were cool. You were like, anything to get people into Lizzy, man.
Exactly.
I'm all for
it. That's what I try to do. If I can get one person a week in the Lizzy, I'm doing all right.
And for me, with Thin Lizzy, I think if you get people past like those 2 hits and you get them into listening to quite a few more things, I think that the teeth sink into you then. I think you finally, you get drawn in, man. It's just getting past those 2 songs you always hear on the radio and getting them into like some catalog that the hooks will grab you and bring you in. That's what happened to me, man. I mean, like Chris said, man, once I started listening to them, I listened to them for fucking like probably a month straight. You know what I mean? I was going through all the albums and everything. So,
dude,
I did actually. I'm sorry, Butch. Go ahead, man.
No. Go.
I did actually see Lizzy live with Sykes fronting them. Yes, it was Sykes Gorham, Michael Lee on the drums. That was from Page and Plant, and Marco Mendoza on the bass. I saw him at a place called the Downtown in Farmingdale, New York. I don't know if you were at that show, Butch. Were you at that show?
I was not at that show.
That was like 2005, I think, or something like that.
Oh, I should know this off the top of my head.
It's either 2005 or 2006. I know.
I want to say it was 2006 because.
Okay.
So the ironic story about that with Lizzy, Sykes getting involved and then putting out Lizzy again. The first show, this is funny, but it annoys me at the same time. Is like, so I had already met Sykes in '89 on the first Blue Murder tour. I'd become friendly with him and blah, blah, blah. So that's a whole nother thing. So in 2006, their first show happened to be in Poughkeepsie, New York at the Chance.
Oh, God, man. That's right by you.
Anybody that knows me at all knows the Chance has been my home since I was 16 when my mom took me to see Quiet Riot there in 1983. So it's only 20 minutes up the road, and I've seen every band pretty much on the way up, on the way down, or a secret show at this place in Poughkeepsie, New York. So anyway, my friend Frank, who has since passed, so love you, Frank. But in 2006, Thin Lizzy was rehearsing at the Chance the whole fucking week. And on Friday was the first show. So I'm finally going to get to see, first of all, I'm going to be able to see Thin Lizzy. This is, it's not real Thin Lizzy because it's not Phil, but still.
But it's a good line. It's a great lineup.
It's a great fucking lineup. They sounded fucking awesome. But it's Sykes is like, whatever, this is going to be fucking awesome. So anyway, so I go to the show on Friday. I get there, I'm at the bar, and I have a little spot I always had at the Chance. And my buddy that owns the club comes up to me. He's like, listen, man, please, I don't want you to be pissed off at me. I got something to tell you, and I'm embarrassed that I didn't think about this. So I know you're going to hate me, but Thin Lizzy and Sykes have been practicing here since Monday. And I forgot all about that you were so into Lizzy, the text you and let you know that they were. So I'm like, wait a minute. Are you trying to tell me that John Sykes and Scott Gorham have been in Poughkeepsie all fucking week long rehearsing and then having nothing to do for 5 days?
Oh my God.
He's like, yeah, I'm like, oh my God. So the first show for Lizzy in the States was in Poughkeepsie, New York at the Chance. And I could have been hanging out with him all week long. He forgot to tell me.
Well, you did see that first show, though.
I was there. Yeah, I was there.
And but dude, that whole week you could have been there, man. It fucking sucks, dude. Oh man.
Oh, believe me, he didn't live it down, boy. Oh man.
But yeah, that show that I saw at there was a place called the Downtown in Farmingdale, New York, and I remember I was so excited, man. I was like, dude, I'm getting to see fucking Lizzy. I'm getting to see John Sykes, who I never even fucking saw, dude. You know what I mean? And him, Gorm, and even Michael Lee was fucking killer on the drums, and you know, he's since passed. Obviously, everybody probably knows that, but I remember vividly, man, when they were going into Waiting for an Alibi. It starts off with the bass and the drums and everything, and then all of a sudden, Sykes is like, "Oh, stop! Scott's rig went out." Right? And it did go out. But then, like 5 seconds later, he's like, "All right, it's back on." So they launched right back into the song. That's a vivid memory I have. And I actually back then I used to record shows as well. I had a DAT recorder and microphones, and I actually bootlegged the show, and it came out phenomenal sounding. So
here's the question. Here's the question for you: did they restart the song or just pick up where they?
No, stopped? They restarted the song.
Okay, that's
from the beginning. Because it was only like 10 seconds in when Sykes was like, "Oh, Scott's rig went out," you know, because I think Scott was motioning that his shit went out or whatever. Anyway, that's a vivid memory I had of that show. Anyway,
that's cool.
But that's my story of Lizzy, man. You sparked me to get back on you and Pete on Sea Tranquility, and ever since then, man. I mean. Phil Lynott as a lyricist is definitely my top 5 lyricists of all time. I mean, he's pure poetry, man. I mean,
I got to stop you right there. Because this is a bone of contention for me with anybody. It is not Lynott. It's Lynott.
Did I say Lynott?
You didn't say Lynott, but you said in between the two.
Oh, what's it? Lynott, right?
Lynott.
Okay, Lynott.
Why not?
Okay.
And I've seen his daughters actually on a video set people straight. It's like, why not? And I met his mother. I met Philomena in 1999 in New York City.
Wow.
And she said the same thing. I asked her, I'm like, is it Lynott or Lynott? And she's like, Lynott. I'm like, okay.
All right. Thanks for schooling me on that one, brother. I always school people on Neil Peart instead of Peart. You know, it's because in the 80s, man, when I was a kid, I used to say Peart. And then finally, like, I started saying it correctly, you know, after he said it the way, you know, it's supposed to be pronounced. So,
right. Anyway. Oh, no, you were saying Peart.
I was saying Peart. Like everybody fucking else was saying Neil Peart.
Everyone was saying Peart. Yeah, absolutely.
The shampoo guy.
The shampoo, exactly.
All right, so we're going to get the topic at hand. It's going to be Thin Lizzy triple track throwdown. We're going to go track by track and pitting against each other. So first track, 3 songs. We pick our favorite. Second track, third track, so on and so forth.
I haven't given this any thought whatsoever. So I'm just going when we go. I haven't thought about it at all.
And Andy will attest to this, man. When we usually do track, we usually do 2 albums track by track. I want to do a triple track because Thin Lizzy just fucking deserves it anyway. Awesome. But Andy will attest to this. Usually he knows that I don't rehearse for these things. I go off the cuff, off the heart. I will admit to this though. I did like listen to the album, so I did.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah,
I wanted to rehearse a little bit, you know. Okay. But dude, you know the albums way more than I do, ins and outs of them. So I wouldn't expect any less from you. But anyway, so we're gonna go.
It's still gonna hurt.
Jailbreak, Black Rose, and Thunder and Lightning. A little bit about the albums. Jailbreak, produced by John Alcock. Black Rose, Tony Visconti. Chris Sangarides on Thunder and Lightning. Right? Am I correct on that?
Yes. Chris Sangarides is how you pronounce it. And he was awesome.
He did Painkiller, and he did what else did he do?
He did Black Tiger from Y&T.
Yes, that album rules.
God damn, is that album?
He engineered Sad Wings of Destiny, I believe.
He did something. Oh yeah, I don't remember what.
I think he engineered that.
Yeah,
he engineered it, but I remember that name.
He also produced my favorite Anvil album, Forged in Fire.
There you go. So he's been there. So we're gonna start off track 1. We're gonna go Jailbreak versus Do Anything You Want versus Thunder and Lightning. Butch, you're first, brother.
This was easy.
Okay.
Easy.
Really?
It's John Sykes. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh,
That's
shit.
That song's a banger.
I love turning people onto this album, and I just say, just listen to Thunder and Lightning, and then text me, message me, email me after you heard that one song, and I don't tell them anything about what's going to happen or anything, because it's just the way it starts, and then it gets going, and you have a keyboard solo, and you have the Gorm does his solo, and then you feel all that tension building up. And then it gets in a crescendo and it stops. You're like, oh no, what's happening? And John Sykes comes bursting through the fucking wall. And you're like, holy shit. Now remember, this is 1983. John Sykes you're like, what the fuck is going on? and that's it. It's like, okay, yep, this album is gonna be unbelievable. So yeah, that's easily Thunder and Lightning. John Sykes just kills everything. Forget Gary Moore on that one, and forget Robbo and Gorham. Oh man, Sykes makes that album. Holy shit!
Okay, real quick, I want to interject. Andy, you're gonna tally all these, right?
Yes, I'm writing everything down. Also,
Awesome.
Michael Lynch wanted to say that he also produced Eternal Idol.
Oh, okay.
Sangarini's did a lot of stuff that we all have, man.
Yeah.
And he's since passed too, but man, he was awesome.
Yeah, he was great, man. All right, Chris, my brother, go ahead, man.
Well, I wasn't going to pick Thunder and Lightning, but man, he's giving me a good sell job right now. But I think
that's what Butch does.
Oh, I'm good at that.
This was the hardest matchup of 3 songs for me to pick one.
Really?
Yeah, because I love all 3 of these so much. But I had to go with do anything you want to. The way you are with Sykes, I'm that way with Gary Moore on a lot of his stuff.
Don't even get me started about Gary Moore, buddy.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But just such a ferocious tone that just cuts through everything else. And
Chris, think about this. If there wasn't Gary Moore, there would be no John Sykes.
That's true. Yeah. I get what you're saying. But yeah, just this and man, Black Rose really. It was interesting to see what panned out in my top list as far as, from which album, but that one starts off. I just think it's such a great song, but then the other 2, God, I mean, the 2 title tracks are unbelievable. There's nothing bad about either one.
Yeah.
But I went with Do Anything You Want to Do. That's my first one.
All right, cool, man. Brad, go ahead, Brad.
I'm going to be that guy. I have to go Jailbreak. It's the funnest song to play, man. So
classic.
Although, does it ever crack anyone else up, just because I'm a cynical smartass, that the lyric of "Tonight there's going to be a jailbreak somewhere in this town"? I'm thinking it's going to be in the jail, right?
Yeah, that always kind of got me too. That always kind of got me too with Phil. I'm like, Phil, you're making it kind of a bit obvious, but you're not.
I just think those lyrics worked in that spot. But I cracked my wife up. We heard it on the radio not long ago, and I was like, somewhere in this town. What about in the jail?
Well, also he says, "Don't you be around." It's like, well, where the hell are you supposed to go? I mean, it's somewhere in this town. I guess you got to leave town.
Yeah.
Hey, don't pick on Phil. Hey,
that's my one critique on Phil that will happen.
It's artistic life.
I never even thought about that. That is funny.
Oh, you never thought about that?
I never thought about that. Oh my
god, dude! I always thought about that. I'm like, as a matter of fact, when I used to be in a band, we used to rehearse, and we were thinking about doing that song, and the bass player was like, "Yeah, you know that lyric? It's tonight there's gonna be a jailbreak somewhere in this town. Like, where's it gonna be besides the jail?" we kind of used to laugh about it, but
this is never gonna work.
You have to get way up there.
What is that? What is that?
It's the Phil Lynott dollar from Ireland that was released 2 years ago.
Oh wow!
I was hoping to do it and Phil's mad at you, but it's so.
No, I can see it, man. I can see him. Yeah. I can see him, man.
I gotta get a ring like this.
Man, he's cool, dude. He is the coolest dude, man.
Oh man!
Wow.
All right, Brad. So that's cool, man. So Travis, go ahead, man. How about you? I can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
I think you're muted.
What happened?
Mute. Take it off of mute.
We got Jimmy over here.
How's that?
There you go.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So, speaking of what Chris said, it reminds me of Holy Diver. You can see his stripes, but you know he's clean. oh, don't you see what I mean? I'm like, no, Ronnie, I don't understand what you mean, but I love you.
I have no idea what you mean, but it's cool.
I think every lyricist has a lyric that doesn't kind of make sense, but they just did it to fit it in there somehow.
And Chris Sangarides also did Anthem too. Japanese American band.
Dude, don't fuck with me with Anthem. Don't even get me started.
I know Butch pushes Anthem, dude. They're great, dude.
Oh, their Anthem's amazing. But Jailbreak, I never get burnt down on that track. It's fresher than Irish Springs body wash. It's awesome. Do Anything You Want. I love the drum intro to that tune. It just sets it up, and it's a great kind of motivational song. But man, I gotta go with Thunder and Lightning. That song is just kick ass from start to finish.
Oh yeah, man. Can't argue with that. Andy, my friend.
Yeah, I am going. Man, this was hard right off the bat because I love Jailbreak. Of course, that's one of the songs that we were introduced to, and I really enjoyed listening to "Do Anything You Want to Do." Those lyrics again, it just rings so true. But I'm going to go with Thunder and Lightning because that's what I was introduced. I mean, that's one of the tracks that reminds me of that trip I took with my uncle, and just being blown away and surprised that this was Thin Lizzy. And again, when I was going through these tracks, that song really stuck out to me. It's like one of those tracks that you hear with Eddie Van Halen on a guitar, and he's like going off the rails. You never know which way they're going to go. And that's what Thunder and Lightning reminds me of. The guitars are just going, and you're just waiting for the train to fall off the track. But it doesn't. It always brings it back on. So I'm going to go with Thunder and Lightning.
All right, man.
Epic.
For me, all three songs are phenomenal. The title tracks of both albums, I mean, admittedly, Jailbreak was really the first time I really kind of heard by them. And I was late to the party with Thunder and Lightning. That's one of the last albums I actually got by Lizzy, that I ever got. And I'm going to admit right now, right off the bat, that Black Rose is actually my number one Thin Lizzy album. That's my favorite Thin Lizzy album. I love Gary Moore. It's another thing that you sparked me on again to really deep dive into Gary Moore. That's another. I want to do a show on him too. And when I do it on him, you're back, Butch.
Oh, please.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Do Anything You Want, man, off of Black Rose. That I love the trap, the drums, that intro, and then those harmony guitars that come in, man. It just grabs you right by the throat, man. And I love Gary Moore. I actually wish there was more albums with the Moore and Gorham lineup. I know Gary Moore. He had done a song or two, but he never did a full Lizzy album. But I would have loved to have heard another live album.
It's also kind of
another studio album.
It's also kind of crazy that they can have these three different lineups with three different lead guitar players, and they're all equally as strong.
Oh, Jesus, man.
That is so hard to imagine.
I mean, just the guitar talent and that went through that band is unbelievable, man. It's phenomenal, So
sorry, Snowy White.
No, don't pick on Snowy.
No, Snowy's awesome,
I'm not. I'm making a joke. I love Snow. I love that material.
I'll tell you, those two records are. I'd like to say the least Lizzy is. That's not really the way to put it, but they're. Yeah, Snowy's heart wasn't in it. And
it wasn't the gig he wanted anyway. But but he was great in the role that he played.
Yeah, he's the first person that he wasn't. You can tell he was done with them being heroin addicts and shit. He's like, I don't need this shit.
You said that video for Dear Miss Lonely Hearts. He just looks miserable in that video. He looks
checked out.
And by the way, my favorite song is from Renegade, "Leave This Town." That's my favorite Thin Lizzy song.
I love that riff.
That's my favorite Thin Lizzy song.
Hey Travis, what was your vote? Was that Jailbreak?
No, Thunder and Lightning.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So I'm Black Rose. I'm Do Anything You Want. So
the question I got a question for you guys that picked. Well, actually, really for all of you guys, but especially for you guys that picked Do Anything You Want to Do. Have you ever seen the video?
No, I don't think
I don't think so.
I can't say that I have.
You guys got homework and this show's over.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will, man.
It's a classic 1979 video. You're goddamn right. Brian Robertson doesn't get the credit he's due.
Yeah.
That's why I talk about him as much as I do. God damn it.
Robbo.
Damn right. I should. I'm gonna go change and put my Robbo shirt on too in the middle of this.
And I know you've been wanting to meet Robbo for years and years, right? He's like the last dude, really, that you've been wanting to meet.
Motorhead played again at the Chance in Poughkeepsie, New York in 1983 on my favorite Motorhead album, Another Perfect Day. I wasn't into Motorhead yet, and I think I might have still been 15 at that time. So, getting into a bar,
Yeah.
And I did later on in the summer because my mom took me, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't get a chance to see Motorhead or Robbo. I've never seen Robbo.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I have to meet Robbo, man.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn.
All right. Enough of this bullshit.
Don't keep me on track. I'll keep going over here.
Yeah, we're gonna get derailed a bunch.
All right, man. Track 2. So, Andy, you got me for doing anything you want to. Track 2 from Jailbreak, Angel from the Coast versus Toughest Street in Town versus This Is the One. Go ahead, Butch. Take it away, man.
Well, Jailbreak is the classic record that everyone has. And I think, at least for me, I loved it. Well, let me put it. When I was younger, I liked it a lot. I didn't love it. I liked it. And Angel from the Coast was one of those songs that didn't resonate with me. Because it was, like Andy said, it wasn't hard rockish, really. Which is why I said I got what you were saying before. But as I've got older and more accustomed to it, I love it now. And I get it now. But when you're just looking for a hard rock metal kind of thing, that wasn't it. But again, I love it now. And it's a great fucking song. Toughest Street, Gary.
Yeah.
And there was no problem liking that song from the first time I heard it. That's for damn sure. But again, John Sykes on This Is the One. Stop it. Phil is complete. So we were just talking about Snowy White. So you get out of Chinatown and Renegade, and he kind of lost their way a little bit. And then this 21, 22-year-old kid comes into his life. John James Sykes comes into his life and gives him a jolt of life.
Reinvigorates, yeah.
Yes. I wasn't even going to try to say it. I knew I wasn't going to say it right. I thought twice to try to say it. I'm like, I'm going to fuck this up. Pick another word. And This Is the One. Again, just Brian Downey, one of the most unsung drummers of all time.
Yeah,
no one has a swing like Brian Downey has.
Yeah.
But This Is the One comes, and the way Sykes and Gorham go back and forth, and you just say the title, and I hear Phil talking to me in my head. Yeah, no doubt about it. This is the one for me out of those three. That's just, man, Sykes just, oh, god damn, I just love that guy so fucking much.
All right, so this is the one for you.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Chris, go ahead, brother.
Well, I know Butch likes Sykes. He's using his middle name when he's talking about him.
Oh, god damn it.
That means you either really love someone or you're really pissed at them.
Exactly.
Much like Butch, Angel from the Coast, I don't want to say that there's any bad songs among any of these albums, but this is one of the lesser ones of all the ones we chose from, I think. Toughest Street in Town, Gary Moore is playing incredible. It just bops along. But I'm right there with Butch on this. This is the one. This is the one. This is the one I picked. The lyrics obviously the solo section's incredible, but then the lyrics, I hear it, I know it, I touch it, I feel it, I see. I mean, that is so fucking cool. And then also the lyrical content, man. Phil could really go to some dark places,
yes,
and he'd be like, I'm going to show you how deep down dark things are right now, and he did that in several songs, and definitely wearing your heart on your sleeve in your lyrics. But this song is just amazing, and then the playing just takes it to the next level. One of my favorite Thin Lizzy songs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good points, brother. Brad, go ahead, man.
Wow, we're gonna run the table here. I I really struggled picking between these three, and I ended up going with This Is the One. In spite of the fact that when somebody said more cowbell, I don't think they could have done more cowbell. I mean, it's like every for the whole freaking song. There's no break at all in the cowbell. It's unbelievable. And then the drums being double time through the whole thing it's like, yeah. I think if I was producing, I think I would have mixed it up a little bit. But anyway, I picked it. So there you go. This is the one. This is the one.
This is the one.
It's more cowbell.
All right, man. Travis, go ahead, man.
This was very difficult for me, but I'm going to give it to The Toughest Street in Town. That is easily a top 10 Thin Lizzy song for me. I love the melody. I love the chorus. It's just brilliant all the way through. So Toughest Street in Town gets a vote for me.
It's classic Lizzy.
Yeah. And our buddy Jimmy Schwartz watching us, his pick was also Toughest Streets for him. And same thing for me. I'm going to go with Toughest Streets in Town. It kind of reminds me of the chorus. It kind of reminds me of a Kiss song, kind of, in a way. You know how that beat goes, and like the same, like the chorus parts, the Toughest Street in Town. So I'm going to go with that. And I'm going to stick with that.
That'd be a good Kiss song with Peter singing.
What song?
Like a rat in a
Toughest
pack.
Street in Town.
So that's a cool track
In
for
the
me.
Wait, there's a Kiss song called Toughest Street in Town?
No, I'm saying it would be cool if Kiss recorded it with Peter Criss singing.
Oh. But Andy, you said it reminds you of a Kiss song, though. Is there what Kiss song?
Oh well, no, just the
Just
sound
in general
of Kiss.
Okay.
Not a specific song, but it sounds like something that Kiss would do.
Okay.
Yeah. And let me rephrase it like that.
If for me, man, this is tough too, man. I mean, all three songs fucking phenomenal, man. I mean, and Butch is almost the salesman that he is. He's trying to swing me over the Sykes, but I still got to go with my pick. My pick. Actually, I'm picking "Angel from the Coast."
Ooh,
I love that song, man. I mean, after Jailbreak, after you hear like the familiar song, then when it gets into that song, like now we're getting into the meat and potatoes of like the album and things. I don't know, man. It's just the riff. It's just. I love Phil singing on it, and I mean, I love Phil singing on fucking everything. But I mean, he sells it for me on that song, man. I mean, I love his lyrics and everything.
It's such a great song, but like I say, when you're younger, you're a kid, that goes over your head. That and the next song actually on Jailbreak, the next three songs really kind of go over your head. They're awesome, and I love each one of them so much more now as an adult.
Yeah,
but as a kid, it's like. This isn't heavy. This isn't rocking. What's going on?
I get it. Yeah,
but then you get the subtleties of it. You're like, ooh, he was deep.
All right, so that's my pick, man. Angel from the Coast from Jail.
But the other one still had John Sykes on it, so fuck you.
Right now, Thunder and Lightning is up 2 points to 0 on the other two.
I'm calling it right now. Thunder and Lightning.
All right, man. I know Butch is kind of happy over here, man.
and Jimmy James Schwartz says Toughest Street in Town also.
Yeah.
That's a great one too, man. I mean, I can't.
Gary Moore's solo in that is like unfucking real.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Gary just rips in that song.
All right, man. We're going to track 3. Running Back from Jailbreak, S&M from Black Rose, The Sun Goes Down from Thunder and Lightning. Butch, what do you got, my friend?
S&M is the throwaway song on Black Rose, so that doesn't win. I like it. It's kind of fun, but it definitely was probably written in the studio, just fucking around, Phil and Brian Downey messing around, and he did that. So cool song, not winning. Running Back, again, just like I said about Angel from the Coast, that's another one of those songs at the time when I was younger. It's like, But back to Thunder and Lightning again. And it's the ballad. But it's like we were talking about before. It is nothing sappy about this. It's really elegant and cool. And it's just, kind of quiet. You got Phil just in the background and just real quiet. And he sings quiet. And the guitar chords or everything is just real nice over it. and Scott Gorham does a great solo in it. So yeah, Sun Goes Down. That to me is it's an underground classic. I guess you wouldn't call it a Lizzy classic, quote unquote, but it's an underground Lizzy classic. It's just, but out of the three of these, yeah, for me, yeah.
Okay, cool. Chris, man, go ahead, brother.
There is a demon among us whose soul belongs in hell.
Thank you. I like Chris.
This man, this song has such.
Butch, before you got to be on Chris's show too, man.
Yeah,
Decibel Geek. Come
anytime,
on, man. You're going there, man.
Anytime.
Yeah, Decibel Geek, man. But no, this song, the word for this one is like atmosphere, and like and much like Andy said earlier, like Phil could like create some like just cinematic thoughts in your head when you listen to these things, and this song is a prime example of that. It just has such a vibe to it, and it's a very different song for the band. I don't even it's hard to qualify it as a ballad. It just sits on its own. It's such an interesting song.
Yeah,
and then,
it's not really a ballad. You're true.
No, but then also Running Back, good song, but it's filler, but I call it killer filler. S&M, I do agree it's kind of a throwaway song, and like what you were talking earlier about how like you're always trying to like, you know, you rope a new fan into the band. And I was getting into the band at the time. I was getting into the band. I started driving for Lyft and Uber, and so I was like, "Well, I'm gonna turn people on to Thin Lizzy while I drive." That's what I wanted to listen to anyway. Dude. So I'm like, "Why not try to make some new fans?"
Awesome.
And I would do what I would do. I would like put Boys Are Back in Town on, and like, "Oh, I like this song. That's that song from the '70s," and then I'd let it roll into something deeper. And that I got a couple people interested in them. But one time I picked up this young couple in their 20s, and S&M came on. And I'm driving, and I'm like, I just became the creepiest person these people have ever met. And they're like, "Is he saying S&M?" I'm like, "Oh, would you want me to change that? That's a little bit of an oddball song from this from your oddball driver."
They're like, "Where's this guy going to?"
Oh my god!
It was a very awkward moment. I don't think I got tipped for that one either.
Oh, that's awesome.
On that note,
yeah.
And in totally unrelated news, I no longer drive for Lyft or
Uber. You're on OnlyFans now?
Yeah, better money. They pay me to keep the clothes on, though. I'm gonna take off my pants unless you pay $10.
Oh, that's great, man. Brad, go ahead, brother.
First of all, I have to say, Patrick there in the chat, Night Demon's version of this song.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the, I mean, most time when people remake a song, it's not that great. This one really is.
Yeah, so, they did a great job.
A+ on Night Demon. I like what they did with it. But yeah, this song is so badass, and it is my pick as well. The Sun Goes Down. Just the one thing Phil did that hardly anybody does, except for me in the 80s, is using flanger on the bass. And he does it just right. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like it's not like messing up with everything. It sounds so tight. So thank you, Phil, for that. And yeah, there you go. The Sun Goes Down, but not on this because we have
awesome. Travis.
This was a very difficult choice for me because I love all three songs. And Running Back is sentimental for me because it helped me get through a very bad breakup.
Mm.
But I gotta give it to The Sun Goes Down because it's such a cool, moody tune. And I can just picture myself like when I'm because I live by the Intercoastal in Florida. Whenever I go for a walk late at night, I love to play that song. It just kind of fits it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a really cool tune. I love that song. So The Sun Goes Down gets my vote.
Like Chris said, that's the best word is atmospheric.
Yeah, for sure.
Andy, my friend.
Oh, I might be the lone wolf on this one. I love Running Back.
Oh,
I do too.
I thought you were about to say I love S&M, and I was going to have it.
I can do it at the sha-la-la.
And then I'd say, Al, clip that drop right now.
No, but Running Back is such a great song. That was the song that I was alluding to to his sentimental lyrics and not being cheesy about it, just being straight up, like having a conversation. And it's a really good track. So when I was doing this, I knew that I was going to pick a running back. I just did. So I'm going to stick to it with running back.
Well, Andy, you are gonna be the lone wolf on this one because I am going with "The Sun Goes Down."
Ow.
Ah, man, that song fucking just spoke to me, dude. I and like Chris said, atmosphere, and like Butch just said, that song has it in spades, man. I mean, there's something about that song, man. It was actually listening to the 3 songs. It was actually an easy pick for me for that one. I love that song, man. It's so great, and the writing, the fucking dude, it's Lizzy, man. God damn it! Like Butch would say, "God damn it, it's Lizzy." So that's my pick, man. Sun Goes Down. So that's like five picks off his panel for that one.
See, and John Sykes doesn't even do the solo.
Nah, man.
It's not all about Sykes.
But he did invigorate that fucking album, though. No, dude. I mean, I don't know if I classify it as a ballad as just an atmospheric song. It just has that thing about it, man. It's great, man. I love it. So that's my pick. Yeah. So we're gonna go to number 4.
Ballad is the wrong word. I shouldn't have used that word.
What's that? Ballad?
I shouldn't have said ballad. That's the wrong word. Just because it's slow. That's why. Yeah.
Well, because when you think of ballads, you kind of think of like cheesy kind of lyrics, man. It's not that at all, dude. It's it's Phil, dude. He doesn't write that kind of stuff. So he's a poet. So anyway, we're gonna go to number 4. Romeo and the Lonely Girl off of Jailbreak, Waiting for an Alibi off of Black Rose, and The Holy War off of Thunder and Lightning. Butch, take it away, my friend.
Well,
I have to step out for a second, so just take it away. And
you got it.
Tell us why The Holy War is the best song.
Well, this time Holy War is not my pick. But I will tell you who did a phenomenal. You were talking about a band that did a great cover. Have you ever heard Heathen's version of the Holy War?
No.
Heathen crushes this. They do an immaculate cover of the Holy War. I remember when I came across, I'm like, well, Heathen, the band from the 80s, really? It's immaculate. They do a great job of it. And I love the song. And again, my guy Sykes on it, phenomenal. Romeo and the Lonely Girl, you guys, I yelled that you guys were picking on Phil before. My friend Ralph Savino back in the 80s when I was really just starting to get into Lizzy. We were in a band together. He was my singer, and I play guitar, Sykes. And I was saying to him how great of a lyricist Phil is, and how he tells stories, he's cinematic, and blah blah blah. He's like, oh yeah, he's a great songwriter, great lyricist. Oh Romeo, all on my ownio. I'm like, fuck you. I'm like, okay, you got a point on that one. It's like, what rhymes with Romeo though? So
that's catchy though.
It's catchy, but he did have a point, and it pissed me off so much because he was right. I was like, ooh, you're right. Okay, that's kind of bad.
Yeah, because you're like, what rhymes with Romeo?
Exactly. But I really couldn't fight with him. I wanted to because he was picking on Phil, and it really made me mad. And 40 years later, I'm still mad about it that I'm bringing it up. But yeah, Waiting for an Alibi. There's no question. That is in the top 5 Lizzy songs of all time. That to me, that is an absolute stone cold classic right there, Waiting for an Alibi. So there's no doubt about it that's my pick for sure. Gary and Scott Gorham, just the harmonies on that's one of the things. I mean, obviously, like we were talking about, you have all the different eras of the twin guitar players, and obviously Gorham is the guy that is in all of them. But if you wanted to expose someone and try to teach them about the guitar harmonies of Thin Lizzy and why they're so iconic,
right?
Waiting for an Alibi is one of those songs that you would play for somebody. It's like, listen to this.
Yeah.
It's immaculate.
I'm going with that song too. It's one of the best dual leads ever put down on tape. And it's produced perfectly. Phil's vocals are perfect. And you're right. It's a good gateway song to get people into the band because it's got just enough of a pop hook to it to get them into, but still just that edginess of the two guitars going up against each other. Not an incredible song. I do love the other two. I love Romeo and the Lonely Girl.
Yep.
Although I think that one kind of harkens back a little bit to earlier records. You know, it's got a little bit of the Vagabonds type sound to it, in my opinion.
A little bit, yeah.
And then the Holy War, man, pissed off Phil Lynott is so awesome to listen to because, man, like I said, wears his heart on his sleeve, but also he's gonna let you know when he's not happy, and boy, he's not happy in that song. But it's a very angry song, but damn, it's good.
Yep.
So what did I miss, man? Butch, you picked Waiting for an Alibi?
I did.
I did as well.
Sorry, I had to go refill my drink, so I'm going to
He's guessing. He's like, which one's yours? I was like, you picked that one, didn't you? I was like, yeah, that was easy.
I'm having too much fun on the show. I need a refill.
Absolutely.
All right, Brad, my friend.
Okay. Yeah, and the bass with the flanger wins for me again. It's Waiting for an Alibi. I'm surprised Bush didn't pick the live version with John Sykes on it, though.
He's done. He's made his point. Travis is nuts.
We're gonna drive this John Sykes thing into the ground.
I always do.
Oh, it's great.
All right, Travis, go ahead, man.
But John Sykes, he is a god, man. And speaking of John Sykes, I am gonna go with the Holy War.
Ooh,
that's solo.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that song rules. It is one of the greatest Thin Lizzy deep tracks ever.
So the Holy War.
Lambs.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
Andy, go ahead, brother.
That is a good song because I almost went with Holy War, but I love Romeo and the Lonely Girl.
Oh.
I just love that song, and I always thought that he said Romeo on his own, you know, but I guess I was wrong about the lyrics.
Well,
it could be.
That could be it. That could be it, but we always laughed and thought it was Onio.
That's what I always thought it was.
Oh,
he's right on this.
Ooh, we couldn't find anything to rhyme with that, huh?
Romeo on his own, you know, because
you're right.
He was supposed to be this guy that always had it made. Everybody thought he had it made, but he really didn't. For all his charms and his good looks, there's pain, you know. And Romeo is on his own, you know.
Do you know who that song, quote unquote, was supposed to be about?
No, I don't.
It's supposed to be about Gary Moore.
Oh, really?
It was supposed to be a dig at Gary Moore.
Before he did.
Wow. I never knew that. But yeah,
Romeo and yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that's why I have you on because you're the historian, bro. Yeah, I learn facts every day from you, bro.
I don't know the whole. Obviously, I don't know the whole story, but that's what I've always read is that it was. I guess what I've read it was about how Gary Moore got the scar, and it was about he was talking to some girl, and a guy came in and hit him with the beer bottle, and that was that was supposed to be all about Gary Moore.
Gotcha, man.
I was going to say the Fonz, but I guess I would have been way off.
That's a good one. That's a good one, Andy.
All right, man. I'm going with Waiting for an Alibi. It's one of my favorite Thin Lizzy songs. I mean, and it's from my favorite album. But you know, it's funny, man. When you go into this, that's why these track by tracks are like interesting because you might have a favorite album, right? But when you go track by track, it kind of sometimes it could speak a different story, man.
Oh yeah.
Your favorite album might not like stack up to like your favorite tracks, you know, if you're pitting it against something else. So that's why I love these like track by track battles, man. Because like I don't know, man. It's because you know it's just might be your favorite album, but a song from another album might fucking beat it. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
But Waiting for an Alibi, I love that song. And then going back to that gig that I saw where Gorham's like rig went out. It's so ingrained in my brain. I remember fucking Sykes just saying, "Oh, hold on, Scott's rig is out." You know, it's like, they right. It was like, all right, his rig is back in. Let's go back. You know, boom. So right from the beginning. You know, and I love that. That I'm so glad I got to see that lineup, man.
Yeah, man.
I never got to see them after that, man. With all the
Really?
Nah. I went to when Judas Priest was touring with Black. Was it Black Label?
Yep, BLS and Lizzy. Yep.
Dude, I got my friend and I. We got to the arena, and the fucking traffic was so bad, bro. We got there as I was walking in. It was like Lizzy was just ending her set, so I was like, "Fuck, man!" Because I really wanted to see them again. And that's really the only other time. And I remember when I lived in New Jersey, I would go to Starland Ballroom a lot. And I know that I think Vivian Campbell played there with them.
Oh.
Did you go to that much?
No, he played with them at Nokia Theater, Best Buy Theater, whatever they called it at the time in New York City. And I was at that one.
Okay, all right. I thought they played at Starland too. I know they played at Starland.
You know what? You could be right. They could have played there additionally.
Yeah.
I saw them in New York City, and Viv was the absolute replica of Robbo from Live and Dangerous.
Oh, wow.
He did every little thing that Robbo did on. It was phenomenal. I'm like, like you're hearing it. You know when you go see a band and they're playing a song and you're hearing the song in your head from whatever album.
Yeah,
and like
the nuances.
The little nuances, like and Sha La La, because Brian Downey was the drummer at that time when Viv was with him. So I got to see Brian Downey. It was awesome, and so I'm in my head. They do Sha La La, and I'm hearing Robbo that the little riff that he does.
Yeah,
and there's Viv fucking doing it. I'm like, no, he did not just fucking do that.
That's awesome.
Oh my god, I was so happy.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed I missed that, man, because I know they played Starland too. I know with and I bummed because I think I was away or something when they played there, and I couldn't. So the only time I saw Lizzy with Sykes fronting them, but I'm glad I got to see him. You know, with him.
Yeah.
Well, I thought John sang the songs fucking great, dude. Awesome. You know, and I loved like throughout the gig, man. He always like threw praise to Phil. He's like, we love Phil for writing these songs. I mean, he really paid tribute to him, and you know, as a friend and everything. It really was like genuine. It felt like from the heart. So that was really cool.
Absolutely. That's a CD I plan on getting. Is that it's called One Night Only, right? And Lizzy, I'm trying to find that. It's difficult.
It's probably tough to find now.
I've got it. How much you want to pay for it?
Anything.
I'll go get it. Want me to show it? Want me to go get it and show it to you?
Absolutely.
Oh, hold on, man.
He's got a PayPal.
I love that album. It's a great live album.
It is a great live album.
Anybody else have this?
Oh, come on now.
No.
Of course.
Do you have that signed by Gorham? Was that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I got the one. It's got a postcard signed by Scott.
I don't have it. I'm bummed I didn't get it signed, you know, with his signature and stuff.
I'm going to wait to the end to show you. I have something to show you guys the end. I'm going to wait to the very end, though.
Okay, cool.
All right, so now it shifts gears.
All right.
Now this is where it starts to hurt.
All right, Andy, you got me for waiting as for an alibi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got
We're going to go track 5, Warriors from Jailbreak.
Also, Patrick Green and Jimmy Schwartz both did for Waiting for an Alibi.
Oh, okay.
So right now, Jailbreak has 0 points.
That's going to change.
1 and Thunder and Lightning has 4.
I think Jailbreak's going to make a bit of a comeback, though. But it's just my prediction. Anyway. All right, so number 5, track 5, Warriors from Jailbreak, Sarah from Black Rose, Cold Sweat from Thunder and Lightning. This is a tough one. Butch, go ahead, take it away, my friend.
It's not tough at all. It's tough for me to have to say it out loud to you guys. Sarah is throwaway, so it's nice that he wrote a song about his daughter, and that's great. That's awesome.
You're fucking killing me right now with saying that.
Having said that, so John James Sykes has 1 writing credit on Thunder and Lightning, and it's on this song. And this is a Lizzy classic. I don't care if it's the last album that Lizzy ever did in 1983. Cold Sweat is a fucking classic. If you want to get a metal guy in the Lizzy that has never heard Lizzy, just play him this fucking song. Yep. This is like, oh shit. Sykes goes fucking ballistic in this fucking song. I can't believe I'm not picking him. God damn. The song, oh my God. Forget the song, just the solo section alone. just
the pain.
Oh my God. But having said that, you cannot even come close to touching Warriors.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Robbo gets the spotlight in fucking Warriors. He's got a phaser on. It's, oh my God, Warriors. I've read and I have bootlegs where Phil says that this song. I have a lot of bootlegs of Lizzy, but I have a bunch of bootlegs where Phil says that this song was written about Jimi Hendrix and also written about George Best, who was a great famous soccer player in the UK. Whether that's either one of those is true, I don't know. I don't give a shit because this song just fucking rules. Warriors from Jailbreak is it pains me to say easily, but really it is easily my pick because Sarah wasn't even in it, and oh God, Cold Sweat's fucking awesome. But yeah, it has to be Warriors. It has to be Warriors. Robbo just goes crazy. The song itself is just fucking bro. Oh my God, Warriors. Okay. Someone go. Chris, go.
He's exhausted.
I'm exhausted listening to it.
I keep on writing Warriors, and then I keep going back and forth. So
no, it's Warriors. It's Warriors.
All right.
It is Warriors. I mean, the goddamn the song. And when you listen
to Chris. Chris understands.
Yeah, well, and because Cold Sweat's one of my favorite songs by them. But
absolutely.
But if I have to put it head to head against Warriors, no. I listened to it again earlier today, and I'm like, how the fuck did this come out in 1976? I mean, it sounded so ahead of its time, and the attitude that Phil has on the lyrics, and then the line, "My heart is ruled by Venus and my head by Mars." I mean,
exactly. And Robbo with the phaser and the wah.
Yeah, and the guitar sound on it it's abrasive, but also it sounds awesome, and it's such a fucking awesome song. I gotta go with Warriors for that one. And Sarah's a sweet song for his daughter, but yeah, it had no chance in this round.
All right, Brad.
I'm dying over here, man.
I can't help it. It's Lizzy. This is what happens.
The passion.
God, I can't help it.
This is why I kicked myself in the ass for not originally asking Butch to be on this shit, man. He made me feel bad on fucking his group, and I'm like, fuck, dude. I'm planning a show like this. How do I not fucking pick the historian? But he's a good sport, man. Yeah, I love you, Butch.
I love you back, man. Buddy.
All right, Brad, go ahead, man.
Cold Sweat. Simple.
Oh, okay.
That's it. Travis.
Roll it down the back of my neck.
One thing I want to say about Cold Sweat was when Megadeth covered it on Super Collider.
I don't like their
he said that was a very tough solo to do. Dave Mustaine and Chris Broderick said they had a hard time trying to cover that one. They were originally supposed to do Thunder and Lightning, but because of Dave Mustaine's religious beliefs, he didn't want to say God damn it. So they went with Cold Sweat instead. But I'm going to go with Cold Sweat. It's just a throttling song, and I love it. It's a classic. It's a classic Thin Lizzy song that should be way more famous.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I love Warrior. When Phil's like, I am your warrior, and it echoes like, at the end. It's just so badass. So I'm gonna go with Cold Sweat.
Yeah, with me, I'm also gonna go with Cold Sweat on this one. This tune really sticks out to me quite a bit on Thunder and Lightning. I think it's great. Also, some of our listeners, Patrick, went with Warriors, but Jimmy did go with Cold Sweat. And I thought that might go with Sarah, but after I heard Sarah a couple of times, it's just so surprising that it's not written better. I understand it's for his daughter. And it could have been a really good battle, but I thought that Phil would have written it a little bit better. It's kind of a it's kind of a lazy written song to me, according to the way that.
Uh-oh. You're about to feel the wrath.
I'm about to put it on you too, bro. So that's your pick. Was it?
Yeah,
Sarah.
I'm Cold Sweat.
No, it's Cold Sweat.
Cold Sarah.
Cold Sarah.
Oh, that's the Alice.
And I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be that guy, dude. I'm gonna be the odd man out, and it's because I have a daughter. And
no fucking way.
No, I feel like a shit father. Thanks, Al.
No, dude. I mean, like, it's my show. Fuck all yous. I'm picking Sarah because, I have a daughter. I love the sentimental.
Is her name Sarah?
No.
Well,
no, it's Kayla. It's two. It's two
syllables.
All right. but I love the sentiment. The sentiment.
See?
God, I can't even fucking speak.
See, I told you.
See, it's this shit right here, bro.
Exactly.
Oh man, it's got Getty, Alex, and Neil on it though.
All right.
Oh, nice.
I love the sentiment that Phil speaks on this song. I don't know. I love it, man. I know you guys. Cold Sweat and Warriors are fucking phenomenal. This gets the sentimental vote for me though, man, because I have a daughter and I kind of feel it's beautiful that he wrote a song for his daughter. So that's my pick. Fuck yous.
All right. Well, here's another thing. Here's more homework for you. Have you ever seen the video for Sarah?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yes, I've seen that.
Seen that one? Okay.
Yes,
that's awesome. With Scott Gordon.
Very 70s.
All right, go. All right. So I'm the odd man out here, so that's my pick. We're going to track 6. We're going to the quote unquote hit. Boys Are Back in Town.
Oof. I know my answer, but
not to give it up. Black Rose. Someday she is going to hit back. Thunder and Lightning. Butch, take it away.
Oh. It's not Boys Are Back in Town. I like that song. It's a classic song. It's the Thin Lizzy song. It's a song that anyone that knows Lizzy or doesn't know Lizzy, they know this song. It's a classic. I love watching a movie, hearing it in a movie. I love seeing a commercial, hearing it pop up in a commercial. I love that it's out there and it should be. It's not my favorite song. I love it. It's not my favorite song. I do have to tell you this story because I don't think I've ever told anybody this before. When I met John Sykes in 1989 on the first Blue Murder tour, I was fortunate enough.
Where'd you see him at?
At the Chance in Poughkeepsie.
Okay, awesome. I wish I would have seen that, man, but that must have been great. Anyway,
you don't even understand. I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible to get back to what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna cut a lot of shit out. But I met him at the show. He invited me to come on the tour bus. I sat with him in the back of the tour bus, me and John Sykes, for 3 hours talking. 1989. This was mind fucking blowing to me. He told me that the solo on Someday She's Gonna Hit Back, which I love this fucking song. He says, if you listen to the solo, and I knew exactly what he was talking about when he told me this back then. If you listen to that song, you listen to that solo, he said he was so excited to do the solo that he comes in early. So when you listen to this song, you hear him, you can kind of hear him like he double hits. He comes in early and gets going. And I'm like, John Sykes is telling me all this inside shit. I'm like, this is fucking blowing my fucking mind. This is unbelievable. And the solo is awesome. And just him, and I'm just listening to him tell me all this shit. I'm like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. And I love that song. And his solo is phenomenal. It does not come close to beating Got to Give It Up. Got to Give It Up. Phil sings those first words and gives me tingles to this day still. And that song is about Brian Robertson.
Ooh.
And I always found that funny that he always said that was about Robbo because Robbo messed up with Bad Reputation and everything. Forget that he says that it's about Robbo. Listen to that song. Phil is telling you about himself.
Yeah.
This is 1979.
Yeah.
And he dies in 1986. Phil is
he's struggling already, man. He's
throwing it out there. He can guise it under whatever he wanted to guise it under. It's all right there. Listen to the song. It's heartfelt. And Chris is going to take it to the next level for me as he's been doing all night long. So I'm throwing it out there for you, Chris. Go ahead and hit it out of the park.
Well, you stole what my thought on it, because it's the same. I didn't know it was about Robbo. I had a feeling it was written about somebody else, but every time I've listened to it, I'm like, that's his addiction speaking through these lyrics. And much like James Hetfield did in '86 when he wrote Master of Puppets, that was his addiction crying out, and I don't even think he realized it at the time. But I think Phil was going, and as again, atmospheric and and cinematic. Like, you can literally picture him sitting in a sleazy bar with a glass and cigarette smoke all around him and just being miserable, and I've listened and read enough interviews especially with Scott Gorham, because Scott has been very open about what Phil was struggling with and
himself too.
And both of them, they were both really bad off on, especially on the heroin. But like you would call this peak times for them. You'd think they'd be overjoyed and thrilled, and I think they were for the most part, but you could tell that addiction was eating away at them, and it was already starting to cause problems with Thin Lizzy. They were missing opportunities around this time. They missed out on a tour because Phil got sick, and I'm sure that his drug use had a huge part of playing in that.
The hepatitis thing, right?
Yeah, the hepatitis. They lost. They were going to open. They were going to open for a huge tour. I can't remember who it was for. It was. They were going on tour with a huge band, and it was really going to be their intro to the States.
Breakout in the States.
Yeah, and that whole situation blew it for them, and I feel like they missed a window right there.
100%.
Oh wow.
But this song, and when the drums and everything kick in, it's like you just can't help but bob your head, because it just goes. And then the boys are, Someday She's Going to Hit Back. I think that's the weakest song on Thunder and Lightning. I just, the solo is great, but I just don't think it's.
I love that song. I think the next song is the weakest song.
Okay, well, we'll get to that, but I don't really care much for that one. And the boys are back at. I have to ask you guys. I can't remember if it was Deadspin or one of these Deadspin type websites a few years ago. They did an article where and I don't know I think this really happened. This guy would go to his local bar that he didn't like going to, and it was a whole young millennial crowd hanging out there, and they had The Boys Are Back in Town on the jukebox, and he would troll the people in the bar. He would load up $40 worth of credits and just play The Boys Are Back in Town on repeat.
Wow.
Where it would only play that song over and over and over. And he did this every Friday night for 3 weeks straight until by the end of the article, he's actually getting threats of being physically beaten by people in the bar. They're like, you don't go anywhere near the jukebox. But if you get a chance, look up that article. It's hilarious.
Look that up. Wow.
But
that might have bothered me a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love the song, but not that much. But yeah, got to give it up. Heavy subject matter, but a great song.
Brad?
All right, Brad, go ahead, man.
I agree with both of you guys on Got to Give It Up. It's lyrically, and the spirit of it is just so on point. And I really wanted to go against The Boys Are Back in Town, just because I'm always against the hit song, but I can't deny it, and I wouldn't listen to it over and over and over. And I agree with what Patrick said there. The Bon Jovi version blows.
Yes, it does. Oh God!
I was wondering if I was going to bring that up.
That's Bon Jovi.
There was one band I played it in, and the drummer was like, "Oh, we're going to do the Bon Jovi version." I said, "And why?"
Exactly.
That's the stupidest thing. Stupid. I'm telling you, when it comes to that, the second part, which is not in the Bon Jovi version, where the harmony guitars are, the do 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 do. Yeah, I was like, nothing's better than to stand right in between the two guitar players with the amp on both sides and just be jamming and hearing those guys nailing it. I love harmony guitars, man. And so Boys Are Back in Town. I can't deny the power of this song, but I won't listen to it more than once. So I'll try.
But that's your pick, though, right?
That's my pick. That's my
All
pick.
right. But there's not, hey, listen, man, there's nothing wrong with that shit, bro.
All right.
Travis, go ahead.
Someday she's gonna hit back to me on Thunder and Lightning. I love that song. What a great tune that is. Got to give it up. Love that song too, but I'm going with the popular song because to me, there's a lot of FM rock classics that I get burnt out on. I never get burnt out on Boys Are Back in Town. It's just a great composed song, great lyrically. It kind of puts a movie in your head. You can see like the images from Phil Lynot's lyrics.
And everybody
It's
sings.
just it's a perfect song.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna give it to the Boys Are Back in Town.
It was originally called G.I. Joe is Back in Town.
Yeah.
I heard that. Yeah.
Good thing you
All right,
changed.
man. Andy,
Chris has got the box set.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, with me, I am going to go with The Boys Are Back in Town. I mean, that is their iconic song for a reason. It is so damn good.
It is damn good.
It again, it tells you a story. And then you follow the story, and you follow the buddy, and his friends. I mean, it breaks it down to verse 1, verse 2, and verse 3. It tells a different story in the same place. So The Boys Are Back in Town is my pick on here.
As good as the Boys Are Back in Town is, and it's the hit for a reason.
But you never need to hear it again. I'll say it for you.
It's their rock and roll all night.
Yeah.
Got to give it up, man. I'm going to my favorite Lizzy album, dude.
Wow.
You've got to
Fucking
give it
Butch.
up. Forgot to give it up.
Yeah, got to give it up. Forgot to give it up, man. Butch, Chris, you guys nailed it for me. I don't really have to elaborate too much further on this. I mean, fucking Gary Moore, is my favorite Lizzy album, and for a reason. I love this song, dude. I mean, that's my
Awesome.
pick, man.
It's awesome.
All right.
Got to give it up, man. So that's number 6. So we're going to number 7.
Yeah, hold on.
Fight or
just a
Fall?
moment. Hold on.
Okay.
That was a tie there between The Boys Are Back in Town.
Yeah, the 3 of us, 3 and 3.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
3
Yeah,
3.
okay.
So that's the first song that there is actual tie. So for you listeners out there, y'all are the tie breaker, Jimmy and Patrick. So which way are y'all going to go?
Man.
Because Jimmy went with Someday She's Going to Hit Back.
Patrick got to give it up there.
Okay,
Right.
so Patrick did say
I think Jimmy said someday she's going to hit back.
Yeah.
right. So let's go with Patrick.
Got to give it up.
No, but
That would
no.
be-
Hold on. Jimmy says this hurts. I have to go. Oh no,
That was the last round.
That was
Yeah.
the last round.
Yeah, he
Okay,
said,
sorry.
gotta give it up. Love it. By the way, The Boys Are Back in Town, but cannot listen to the Bon Jovi cover of it.
Terrible.
So let's go with Got to Give It Up. So that one wins. So
Okay, beautiful.
another mark
Beautiful.
for Black Rose.
Beautiful. All right, man. So number 7, Fight or Fall from Jailbreak. Get Out of Here from Black Rose. Baby Please Don't Go from Thunder and Lightning. Butch, take it away, my friend.
I like Fight or Fall, doesn't win. Get Out of Here is a really cool song, and I think one of the little cool things that people don't realize, especially if you're just a casual Lizzy fan, you absolutely don't know this. But the band Ultravox that was somewhat
Major.
popular in the 80s.
Major.
Who replaced Gary Moore
He
and
did.
Lizzy for a really short amount of time, co-wrote that song, which a lot of people don't know. And it's a great song.
Get Out of Here, you're talking about, right?
Yes. Talk
Okay.
about Get Out of Here.
Okay.
But it does not come close to Baby Please Don't Go and John Sykes. Are you kidding me? Thunder and Lightning is John Sykes' I was in Tigers of Pantang, and most people don't know that. But here's my coming out party on Thunder and
I
Lightning.
love Tigers of Pantang.
Realistic,
Me too.
but Baby Please Go. Please, oh Jesus Christ!
Baby Please Don't
Starting
Go.
to hit a little bit. Baby Please Don't Go is probably Sykes'
Do the dishes.
greatest solo on Thunder and Lightning. It's crafted. It's an immaculate solo, And obviously I talk about John Sykes because he's my guy and I love him so much and blah blah blah. And people don't talk about him, so that's why I feel I have to do my work for John Sykes and get his name out there as much as possible. But the song itself is just.
Can
awesome.
you call the fucking guy up and get him to come back out and play?
I wish I had his number, man. I am friends with somebody that works with him, and he gives me scuttlebutt here and there about what's going on.
Yeah.
Sykes, I just don't think gives a shit. I think he's done with.
What do you think of the 2 songs that he released?
I've heard more than that.
I'm sure you have, but
I've heard 6 songs, and they're fucking awesome.
And it's like what are you waiting for, right?
And it's like 8 years old.
Jesus, man.
And for John Sykes fans, Bob Daisley released a Gary Moore tribute album in which John Sykes plays guitar on "Still Got the Blues."
Oh, it's great. Yeah,
it's amazing. And Danny Bowes from I think that's his name from Thunder does vocals.
Yep,
it's awesome.
Who knows? I don't know. I mean, last year you got the little Sykes' sons pushed him to make a video to put another song out there.
Yeah.
It's like, John, the record's been done for 8 years. Just fucking put it out already. And I saw a vlog, I guess, with the owner of Golden Robot Records, who paid Sykes to do his record. And he said flat out, I paid John, the record's done. I'm not worried about it. When John's ready to give me the record, I'll release it. And that's a great stance to take. But shit, it's been, like I said, it's been like 8-9 years now that. Come on, Sykes. He just come on. He's killing me.
I know, man.
But sorry, guys. Back on topic.
Does he get an album out before Vinnie Vincent does?
Well, you know what though?
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I tell you,
it's a good question.
The race to me was him and Mick Mars, and Mick Mars version came out, and it's great. So, I don't know. Vinnie Vincent. I hope so. I mean, it's not like Sykes has to go write the songs and make a record. It's done. Just put it out.
Yeah.
John Sykes, you know that I love you. To send me the shit, I'll put it out for you. Come on. There's no bigger John Sykes fan than me.
If it was
shit.
Butch, I'm gonna get nostalgic here. If it was the Z-Rock days, Butch would have fucking leaked this shit, man.
Oh, Al, are you kidding me? There would have been no way I wouldn't have done it on the butcher shop on a Friday on a Friday night. Listen, everybody, I'm gonna sneak this song. Just don't let anyone know that you heard it from me. Here's new John Sykes. Are you kidding me? Easily, I would have put it out there and waited for him to find me and yell at me. Whatever. It would have been 8 months before he found me.
All right, man. Let's get back on track. Chris, go ahead, brother.
For Baby Please Don't Go. Now, while I do enjoy the solo by one John James Sykes, it's not my choice. I do like Get Out of Here a lot. I went with Fight or Fall. This one, it's like a never skipper whenever it comes up. And I love the opening lines to it. You know, brothers, here I stand, spread my wings, take command. The sky he justly planned, the boy became a man. I don't know. This one just, when I put it up against the other two, I would go for this one first. So, but I like all three. But yeah, that's my choice.
Good man. That's awesome.
All right,
love that song.
Brad, my friend.
Baby, please don't go. I ain't got more to say. Travis.
Hey, Butch. See, that's what I love about Brad is just like, hey, listen, man, straight to the point. Here's my pick. Next.
Brad's like, Butch did all the talking. Let me just get my answer.
How can I top what Butch has said already? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, Butch really sums it up, man. You know, I love that, man. So, yeah. All right, Travis.
Travis is going to top it. Here he goes.
I might upset some people. I think "Baby Please Don't Go." It's a great song. I love it, but it's my least favorite track on Thunder and Lightning, which is it is my favorite Thin Lizzy album, by the way.
That's your least favorite track on Thunder and Lightning?
Really?
It's a great song, but it's my least favorite track. It's like my least favorite slice of pepperoni pizza. I still love it though.
Okay.
I don't even know what to say to that. Wow.
Fighter Fall's a great song too, but I gotta give it to Get Out of Here. I love that track, man. Just the cool
Oh,
kind
get
of
out of here.
energy.
Come on.
I love that song so much it wins for me. Get out of
Okay.
here.
Next, Andy.
Yeah, I'm going to go with "Get Out of Here." I love the vocals on there, the vocal arrangement. It's kind of like Phil's doing a call and response to himself,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Yep.
And I love that way that sounds, and that's why I picked it, because it's so abnormal. You just don't get that when you hear a call and response. It's always someone else in the band, not to himself. So get out of here is what I went with, along with Travis there.
All right. Well, I'm going to the Thunder and Lightning album, Baby Please Let Go. I mean, Butch summed it up there, man. I mean, that's just fucking.
Yeah,
I mean, I came late to the party, Thunder and Lightning, but this fucking song just fucking rules, dude. So it's Thunder and Lightning, dude. I mean, it's Baby Please Don't Go, man. I mean, Sykes fucking rules, you know, and I love it, dude. That's just my pick, man. I gotta go with that one. Okay, so we're gonna go with number 8, Cowboy Song off of Jailbreak, With Love over Black Rose, Bad Habits off of Thunder and Lightning. Butch, take it away, my friend.
This right here, this is the hard. Well, no, this isn't the hardest. The next one is the hardest, but this is the hardest so far.
I agree with you on that.
This is the hardest so far.
Remember, he's not rehearsed here. He's going from the gut.
Yeah, I'm going from the gut. This sucks. Bad Habits is not it. That would be, if I had to say there was a Lizzy song on Thunder and Lightning that is, I don't want to say a throwaway song.
You don't want to say the F word, the filler word.
Yeah, this would be it, and I love it. Don't get me wrong. It might be the F word.
Chris, what did you call?
Killer Filler.
Killer Filler.
Killer Filler. There you go.
It's definitely that. It's definitely that. So that's not it. Oof.
The pain.
It's down to 2 songs that were completely written by Mr. Lynott. Anthrax does a great cover of the Cowboy Song.
I agree.
I give them a lot of credit for that. They do a killer version of it, and I love Lizzy's version. I think I gotta go with Love, because it's again, I want to call it a ballad. It's definitely not a ballad. I want to call it a ballad, but it's not. But it's a great song. Phil is getting into some shit in that song, and the lyrics in that one. Chris will tell you. I set it up, and Chris just takes it to the next level. So Chris has been doing a fantastic job all fucking night. Yeah, I'm going with Love from Black Rose. Yeah, that's my jam.
Well, I would take it to the next level if it were my pick, but it's not. No, I love that song. The guitar playing on it too, especially the lead tone on that song. Wow, it's just incredible. But no, and Bad Habits, Killer Filler, never skip it. But
nope.
But certainly isn't going to win in a battle between these 3.
Yeah.
But man, Cowboy Song, and you mentioned the Anthrax. It's funny because I had a single. Remember those? Of
I got the CD single.
Yeah, it was the Anthrax Black Lodge single with a cover of Cowboy Song and a cover of Lover All I Can by Kiss.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
Yep. I got the CD single of that.
Yeah, with John Bush singing. and I fucking loved Cowboy Song on that. And it's like one of those things where I look back and I'm like, why was that not my entry point into Thin Lizzy? I totally should have started buying stuff after that because I knew it was a Thin Lizzy song and I loved it, but I don't know. I was into grunge, thrash,
the 90s.
hair metal.
Wait a minute.
What?
Did you just say that you were into grunge?
In fairness, I was about 17 at the time, so you got to look at my timeline.
What hold it against the Bush?
I was even playing in a band that covered Alice in Chains. And
I love Alice in Chains.
Well,
Alice in Chains is not grunge.
Well, I agree
So
with
is
that.
Soundgarden. So is Soundgarden. Soundgarden's not grunge
It's
either.
Alice in Chains.
Those are the two.
Alice in Chains and Soundgarden they're the two best. But but Cowboy Song, man, this song, it just goes in so many places and they take you along for a journey. And again, cinematic. You picture Cowboy Phil out on a ranch or something, riding a horse
in the U.S.
Yep. Yeah, in the U.S. out west, and I just loved how he romanticized America. You know, and it's one of those things where, like, you know, and Scott used to brag about that. He's like, man, Phil would just rave about America. He loved the culture. He loved everything, the TV, everything.
Oh wow!
And the best performance is the Sydney Opera House performance. If you see, you'll just get chills watching that because the whole crowd's just going nuts for it.
Yeah, Patrick Breen mentioned that in the comments there.
Yeah, that's and the story behind they were only going to allow something like 6,000 people there, and everyone just flooded the place. It was like 50,000 people there.
Wow.
But yeah, Cowboy Song is just a classic, and I think deserved more radio airplay than Boys Are Back in Town. I just think it's a better radio song. But Boys Are Back in Town is catchy. I'll give it that.
Chris has almost swayed me. I almost want to change my pick, but I can't. But
all right,
that's some good stuff right there, bud.
Well, that's payback for your Thunder and Lightning pick.
All right, Brad, man, take it away, man.
All right, Chris took it to the next level, and he's totally 100% on point here. The beginning of that song, you just feel like you can feel the campfire. I mean, it's this song is so great on so many levels. It's just an incredibly well written song, and it's a blast to play. Oh my gosh, it's so fun to play, especially the end. So there you go, Cowboy Song for me.
Awesome.
Andy.
Uh-oh.
Wait, we got something wrong here?
Yeah, he swayed me.
Who?
I got Chris swayed me. I gotta go Cowboy Song.
Oh, you switching?
Yeah, he's right.
Can this be a first for a fucking Butch Jones here?
Yeah, 100%. Because no one sways me. I'm like, fuck you. This is my shit.
I need to run for office or some shit.
That's
you know what it is?
Next
you know
level.
what I'm thinking though, too, Chris? I mean, you did sell it 100%. You absolutely perfect. I'm also hearing all the live stuff that I have and Phil live doing the song and oh, and everyone doing the cowboy call.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I gotta switch,
dude. The closest I ever got to seeing Thin Lizzy was seeing a Black Star Riders show at a club here in Nashville, and there's like 70 of us there on a Wednesday night, and there's like 70 of us there. They break into Cowboy Song, and I damn near I had tears in my eyes, and I had goosebumps. And I was just like, this fucking song, there's just something next level about it.
And Damon was in the band still, right?
Yeah.
He's great too, man. Damon Johnson. Oh shit.
Yeah. Interviewed him. Super nice guy.
Huge Lizzy guy, man. Switch mine. I'm gonna go Cowboy Song. I'll switch it.
All right, so that's 3 Cowboys, man. Let's go, Travis. Let's go with your pick.
My God, this is difficult. And I love Bad Habits. To me, that could have been like an FM rock staple.
It could have
been. They pushed it.
Yeah.
But man, I agree with Chris and Butch. Cowboy Song is just so irresistible. It's not only one of the greatest Thin Lizzy songs, it's one of the greatest rock songs, period. It's so great. I have to give it to Cowboy Song.
All right, cool, man. Andy.
Well, I am from Texas.
Rootin' State.
They would have to.
And if you don't pick Cowboy Song, you're fucked up.
Exactly. You're fucked.
And that's why he's picking Bad Habits.
Anything else? I would have to go live in Louisiana or
No,
somewhere.
but you're not a Cowboys fan.
I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I am a Texan.
I am.
We're different.
That's your problem.
I know.
I am a Cowboy song on here. Again, it's the storytelling, it's the cinematic, it's the fire, it's the cactuses and him on his horse and thinking about this woman because all these Southern girls they're all the same, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Cowboy song.
When me and Andy did the top 11 Thin Lizzy songs, this song was my number one, man. It's my number one song. And it was the Cowboy song. That's my favorite. There's something about this song. Not only in Phil's lyrics, I mean, all you guys touched on it, man. You can picture a movie in your head, man, when he's singing.
Close your eyes.
Lyrics. And I'm just thinking about a certain female and, all that. I mean, all of us can relate to that, man.
Yeah.
I mean, in one way or another. The harmony, when I was a kid and I heard this song, and to this day, I don't know why, man, but whenever I hear this song, I still get like choked up because I don't know, the harmony guitars, just the way that it's laid out and the way it's just played, man. I don't know. It tugs at my heart for some reason, man. I really get misty-eyed with Phil singing his lyrics and the guitars all at the same time. I don't know why, man. There's a song.
Perfect.
You have this song. I mean, I think everybody has a certain song where like you get emotional from hearing it, man.
I got several of those.
And this is absolutely like one of those songs, man. I mean, I'm kind of actually getting choked up right now, even talking about it because I can hear it in my head.
Yeah.
And that's why it's my number one Lizzy song. I mean, it really is, man. I mean, for some people, like, I mean, Butch, I know you're deep into their catalog and everything, but and for you, maybe like this song might not be even in your top 10. I don't know, and it doesn't matter anyway. But
it wouldn't be in my top 10, probably. No.
Yeah, but I don't know. And that's what's great, man. Everybody's different, man. Everybody has their different picks.
But I love it.
Yeah. But for some reason, this song conveys an emotion in me, man. Like the guitars just sound sad, but like kind of happy at the same time. Like I don't know, it's just happy tears that I get when I hear
and that final lead break when the lead comes just roaring back in.
Well, and it's not even that. And it's not even that. And it's when Phil sings the final lyric and you hear that final chord, man. It's just like, dude, it's just like I'm like sitting back in my chair, man. I'm like, I'm just so satisfied in a way, like.
Right, there you go.
Yeah. You're like the dad on South Park after he,
But it's a Cowboy song. I think it's a clean sweep. Is this the first time it's been a clean sweep?
Song that this is a clean sweep that all six of us, because Butch changed his answer.
Yeah,
it's a clean sweep.
Yeah,
and I love With Love. It's just a great song, man.
Great.
But yeah, it's so cinematic. You close your eyes and Phil is just telling you the whole story.
It is cinematic, man. I mean, I could just picture the desert and him riding.
Well, I still haven't driven through the desert yet. And one of these days I want to go to Vegas, and this song and Desert Plains by Judas Priest are going to be the first two songs I play when I'm racing through the desert.
Well, I have ridden through the desert. I've been in Arizona and all that shit, so it's definitely a good playlist, man. I've been out to the Grand Canyon, man, and this is a perfect soundtrack to it. You know what I mean? So.
And you got to blast Outlaw by Riot.
Oh, another great one, man. I think Butch just brought up Riot not too long ago.
I don't know if you guys recognize the new version of Riot, but the stuff I've heard off the new one, pretty damn good. Not bad.
Yeah.
It's not Mark Reale, I get it, but it's still pretty enjoyable.
Call it something different.
Well, what they did, it's Riot 5 or V or whatever.
Yeah, it's Riot 5.
Riot 54.
As Andy would do. Andy, do it with me, bro. We're down to the final.
Last pick, guys.
And like Butch said before, this is a painful one for me. Holy shit, man. We're going Emerald from Jailbreak. We're going Royce and Dub, Black Rose, a rock legend from Black Rose, obviously, and then Heart Attack from Thunder and Lightning. Butch, man. If you can muster up the energy.
The energy is there. The energy is not the problem.
If you can muster up the, I don't know,
I don't know what to call it. I really don't want to.
It's painful. I know.
It's down to 2.
Yeah. And I think it's down to 2 for me as well. I think I know which ones, but go ahead, man.
But listen, god damn it. Listen, this is not fuck me. I know what the answer really is, so I just gotta get my way to the answer. So
hey, but dude,
we're working through some stuff here.
State your case. This is like therapy.
Listen, this is not. This hurts a lot. I'm not even fucking with you, because Heart Attack. I've said a lot in the butcher shop. If you listen to Heart Attack, Phil, so let me back. So this is the last Thin Lizzy studio record. Okay, they don't know it at the time. They're expecting Sykes is in the band. We got this rejuvenation. We're gonna go out and do whatever we're gonna do. They put the record out, and then people come say, oh, "Okay, this is gonna be the last tour." This wasn't a Phil thing. This was management telling them that this was gonna be the end of it. Heart Attack. So this is 83. Okay, Phil dies in January of 86. So 3 years. You listen to this song the way that and this is the greatest farewell album in heavy rock history. I defy anyone to tell me another album that is better than Thin Lizzy's Thunder and Lightning as the last album of their career. Phil is telling you.
It's hard to argue that, man.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Phil is telling you he's dying on this fucking song. Mom, oh God! You talk about getting emotional.
Yeah,
I'm gonna lose my shit. Phil is telling you in this song that he's dying. For that alone, it should win. Having said that, Phil wrote a song in 1976 and 1979 that are really unbeatable, and I already know what my pick is, but I want to say the second song needs to be the pick, but it can't be. But it should be.
I wish I would have brought my racer mate for this one.
Oh God damn it, Al, fuck you, Al. How did
I didn't say this, man.
That was Andy.
No. Fuck Al, because I had to call Al out earlier today for me to be involved in this, and I shouldn't be here because this is the most painful thing I've ever done on any kind of video show, anything. How I'm not picking Black Rose to be the song because it's Emerald. and you can't beat Emerald.
You are correct.
You talk about a song that is giving you the whole. Okay, hold on. Let me back up. When I was in school in the high school, you said if you were an Iron Maiden fan, you said you learned your history from Iron Maiden. I had an English teacher in my sophomore year of high school, so that would have been 83, and I brought in. No, you know what? Let me back that up. That would have been my junior year because it was Power Slave. So I brought Power Slave in, and I gave I talked to my English teacher about Reimer the Ancient Mariner, and I gave her. She heard me talking again. I sold her on it. and she's like, let me borrow your record. Let me listen to this. And she listened to that and the history lesson. That's where I'm going with this. The history lesson that Steve Harris gave us all. We learned so much history from Iron Maiden. None of us would have been interested in listening to that in a fucking history class in school, but Steve Harris was telling it, and we were interested. So here's Phil Lynott giving me a history lesson of Ireland. and really in both fucking songs.
Yeah.
So Black Rose is fucking phenomenal, and Gary Moore, Chris. People don't understand this, and the breakdown in Black Rose, Gary Moore does both guitar parts. It's not him and Gorham. It's Gary playing on a Telecaster and playing on a Les Paul Jr. doing both of those tracks. That Irish thing. That's Gary because he's from fucking Belfast. And how can I not pick Black Rose? Fucking Emerald.
This is painful, man.
So I have to say, Emerald. I'm sorry. I'm going on and on.
No, dude, man. It's all you, bro.
It's fucking Emerald because Robbo's on it.
Hey, Butch, man, can I ask you something, man? And I don't know if I ever I don't know. Did you ever meet Gary Moore?
The answer is no.
Okay.
But I was 3 feet from him. He played at the Chance again in Poughkeepsie.
Okay.
In '87 on the Wild Frontier tour.
Okay.
And I was talking to a roadie of his that was Gary was 6 feet away from me, and his roadie was 3 feet away from me. And I'm talking to him. He's like, sometimes you don't want to meet your heroes.
Oh.
I'm like, really? He's right there. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I kind of took what he said, and since then I've read some things that he wasn't particularly happy.
He wasn't in the mood that night, probably.
Yeah, and I think Gary. Sorry, guys.
No, go, man.
Gary Moore has a school, and my theory is his school spawned my favorite guitar players, and Gary starts it, so he's at the top. But the school of Gary Moore, for me, is Vivian Campbell, John Sykes, and John Norum. Those 3 guys are disciples of Gary Moore. And you hear anything that they play, you're like, oh, it's fucking Gary Moore, of course. But it's youthful, young, attractive guys that did Gary Moore. So there was that. And I think Gary Moore was just angry, which he wasn't his playing, which is what made him Gary Moore. He was angry.
The fire in his playing was just
if you guys don't, if people out there are watching me go on, sorry. But if you don't know the album Dirty Fingers, please go listen to the album Dirty Fingers. It's the album. Gary just goes ballistic.
That's a big regret in my concert going history is not seeing Gary Moore live. I really wish I would have got to see him, man.
I saw him 3 times.
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw him in '83 opening for Def Leppard and Crocus. I saw him in '87 at the Chance on the Wild Frontiers tour, and I saw him at the Beacon Theater on Still Got the Blues. So I saw him in 3 different phases of his career, which was awesome. And he was Gary Moore in each one of them. I was at the Beacon Theater watching all these people doing the whole, all that.
Yeah.
And there was a guy next to me, and I literally said to him, I'm like, are you a new fan of Gary Moore, or have you been a fan his whole career? It's like, oh no, I just found out about him like a year or so ago. And this is 1990.
The blues thing, yeah.
I'm like, wow, man, if you go back and listen to Gary from like in the 70s, it's the same fucking guitar player. Mm-hmm. It's just the vehicle of his music was different.
Yeah.
From the early Skid Row at the Coliseum 2 and the solo stuff and Lizzy and then whatever. His solo stuff is exactly the same. The fire just ripping, whether it was jazzy or whatever, but Gary was Gary.
Yeah,
and I can't pick Gary. I have to pick Robbo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my 15-minute dissertation is picking Emerald.
All right, man. So Butch picks Emerald. Painstakingly picks Emerald.
Oh my God.
Chris, man, take it away, man.
I think Butch needs a cigarette after that.
Oh my God.
I think I need one.
Yeah. Man. Speaking of Gary Moore, I just stumbled on this on YouTube a couple of years ago. I know, don't they do like an annual tribute to Phil concert or Lizzy concert out in Ireland. And there was one of the years where Gary was kind of the ringleader for it. and Scott comes out, and have you guys seen that? It's just,
yeah, I've seen it, man.
I've got the DVD.
God, the playing on that whole show is just so phenomenal.
That's a schooling of
Oh,
shit.
my jaw was on the floor the whole time I watched it. I was like, God damn.
Robbo's on that too.
Yeah, he's great on it too. And speaking of Robbo, that's why I'm gonna go with Emerald. This is the pinnacle of the Gorham Robbo lineup, and man, between Cowboy Song and this, those two go back and forth as for my favorite Lizzy song. And Jesus Christ, the trade-off on the guitar playing, where the riff goes, it's a master class in guitar playing and the history lesson behind it. And I saw an interview with Scott Gorham not long ago where he's like, yeah, we'd be going around the States, all these radio stations promoting the new album and the tour, and like the DJ would get one little fact wrong about Ireland, and Phil would just go into like a 20-minute history lesson with the DJ. And they get done with the interview, and Scott be like, "Can you fucking knock that off, please? I know you're proud of Ireland, but we're promoting a record."
I love it. It was so Ireland.
Yeah, he loved his country, but no, Emerald, good God, amazing song. Never get tired of it, and yeah, what more can you say? It's amazing, and I actually like Ace Frehley's cover.
No,
I do.
Nope.
Is it John 5 that's playing with him on that one?
And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to ruin this for you.
Okay, thanks.
I'm going to ruin it for you. And Mastodon does the same thing. I'm going to ruin it for you. Go back and listen to those two versions. They add a riff to it.
No, it's okay.
No. You don't. You take a song like Emerald and you're going to add notes to it, to the riff? No.
You're listening to a Lizzy purist here.
Yeah, I know. I think I've crossed a line here.
Yeah.
If you take any band that you guys love and someone do a cover of it, of a song that you love that's iconic, and then change the riff.
It's kind of like what Vanilla Ice did to the Queen.
You know what? It's like how Metal Church butchered Highway Star. Freaking terrible.
You know what? I don't have a problem with how they did it, but I understand what you're saying though. It's not to the song for sure.
I think I just dug hearing it with modern production. I think that's what was attractive to me on it. Just because it had a little bit more gain added to the guitars, and I was just like, I just liked hearing it.
I'm hearing that song. I'm like, that's not the riff. Why do you add it song? Why do you add notes to the riff? No.
And Butch is an accomplished guitar player himself, so I could see the fucking, you're like, what are you doing?
It was about Phil. This is how the riff goes. You're gonna add to his songwriting and add your own shit to it? No, that's not how it goes.
Well, now I'm not looking forward to listening to it next time. Thanks. I'm gonna be like, damn, he's right. This song sucks.
See, that's what I'm looking for.
Chris and Butch had a bond going, and now it's getting,
Yeah, I think the chain's been broken. This isn't cool.
It's so annoying.
All right, moving on, Brad.
So,
Brad, I don't know how you follow these two, but good luck to you, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be hearing Butch's voice in my sleep tonight. It's going to be, what are you doing sleeping on your side for? That was Ace Frehley, though, wasn't it? Oh, Butch sounds like Ace Frehley. Okay.
Phil would have slept on his side. I'm telling you. Phil would have slept on his back, not on his side.
Oh man, I'm not sleeping tonight. I'm going to stay up all night because of this. Okay, I actually bet $100 that we'd go through this whole thing without anybody saying the words Vanilla Ice, and then Chris blew it for me.
I have to name check him once every.
God damn it!
Once every few weeks.
Yeah.
Gotta keep that name out there.
Wow. Yeah, I went back and forth. And you know what I landed on? Black Rose. And I can't even tell you why. It's just I did. I listened to it. I kept putting those songs together, and I'm like, how do you pick? How do you pick? So I picked Black Rose.
It was like eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
It was. I can't really say why it's better. I don't even know that it is better, but I picked it.
It's brilliant.
Travis.
That's the toughest one for me. I love all three tracks, and I love Heart Attack. Mama, I'm dying of a heart attack. I love that little girl, but she don't want me back. Oh my God, I can relate with that
I'm
shit.
dying.
I can relate with that shit, man. And I love Black Rose, but Emerald, man, come on now. One of the greatest closers of any album. I'm giving it to Emerald. Just the guitar, the twin guitar solo at the end from Robbo and Scott. God damn, that is so great.
All right, Emerald's for you, man. Andy.
For me, I love a good closer. That's what makes an album everlasting, because when you hear that last track, you're like, damn, that was a good album. And to me, I get that feeling with Black Rose. I love the iconic, a very it's an epic track to end the album. And it goes through a couple of changes before it ends. You're thinking it's going to end, but they take it another step further, and another step further. It's like they love this album so much they don't want to stop. They just keep on adding more. And it's not the same sound either, or the same genre. They just keep adding more music and more music, and their love for their country and for the love of who they are. So I went with Black Rose, or should I say Roshan Doob. Is that how it's pronounced? Roshan Dove.
Dove, like D-O-V-E.
Oh, Dove. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Roshan Dove. So that's where I'm going to finish off with.
Brilliant.
Nice.
Fuck, dude. This was painful for me too, man, because this is just, Emeralds is fucking. It's like a crown jewel in her catalog, man. It's like. But god damn it, like Butch would say. We're gonna have to go to the audience for a tiebreaker because I'm going with Black Rose, dude. Because I fucking love Gary Moore on this fucking track, dude.
Oh, it's incredible.
God damn it, dude.
Yeah.
The epicness, and it's not to say that Emerald's not a fucking epic, because that's an epic too. It's a storytelling epic and history and. Oh God, man!
You sound like me.
God, man. But Black Rose. And again, Black Rose is my favorite Thin Lizzy album, dude. And down to the cover art and everything, man. It's just I don't know why, man. It's just
an awesome cover. That really is.
And the way Andy said, man, like when an album closes with such a fucking amazing track, dude. It's just like. I just listened to one of the greatest, albums, and whatever. But I'm going Black Rose. It's a tie break. It's a tie here, right? Isn't it, Andy?
But our audience, both Patrick and Jimmy, both went with Emerald.
All right, so Emerald's wins on this one, man.
You know what it is? Is that both of those songs, at the end of it, they both trail out, and you're exhausted.
kind of like hearing you.
I can't help it. I can't help it, man. It's this is
it's the passion. I know, dude. I know.
That's how much I love the music. Yeah,
I love it, man. I love it.
I love your passion. It's awesome.
You hear either one of those songs, and you're just like, oh my God, I got to hear it again. It's like, oh my God, I'm tired.
This is why I felt like this is why I felt like an idiot for not inviting Butch on the show, dude. I was like, how do I fucking live this down, man? And he can make fun of me all he wants, bro. It's all good. I love Butch, man. Dude, Chris. I don't know if you go on Butch's on his Facebook page.
I do. Yeah, I'm part of it.
Okay, and I love. Butch introduced me to a lot of great music, man. I like to think of myself as pretty well rounded, and I know a lot about music. But Butch has been in the business, man. He was a radio programmer, right? Were you on Z-Rock?
Yeah, I was on Z-Rock.
Yep. So,
oh, that's awesome.
I was telling him about this story real quick, man. I used to work with my brother for a township in New Jersey. We had a fucking work truck that only had an AM radio in it, man. And this is like in the early 90s, like 92, 93, right?
Hey,
so my brother was like, let's really go through the AM and try to find something decent. Like all of a sudden, man, I'm going through it and I hear like fucking hard rock, dude. I'm hearing like I don't know what I hear. I hear like I must have heard like Soundgarden or like, I don't know, something like that, man.
Yeah,
it was
90s.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 92, 93. So I'm like, holy shit. My brother's like, don't touch it. And so we're listening to it. And all of a sudden it's like, this is Z-Rock. And I think was it based out of Texas?
Yeah, Z-Rock was out of
Dallas.
Texas. Yeah.
Okay.
Alice?
Yep.
Okay.
But it was a syndicated thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, and I told Butch about this, man. I'm like, I found this fucking station on AM. And he's like, it was based out of the New York, I guess.
Yeah, it was
feed or
New York
something.
City. It was the affiliate. Yeah.
So we kept it on that station until we got like a new truck that had like FM and all that stuff, right? But dude, man, they were. I remember at that time they were really playing Black Flag by King's X a lot.
Oh, I love
You know,
that.
it was a great station, man.
Awesome.
And I miss like that kind of format. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Butch was a part of this. I never knew this until years later, until you mentioned it. You know.
Oh,
But anyway, but Butch, man, he always brings up like great bands that I never really listened to, and I thank you for that, Butch. I really do.
man.
I'm humbled that you're on the show, dude. I really
appreciate it. My whole thing is about, we all listen to music. We're all sick of commercial radio. We've all heard bands that we love and the same songs over. Like we're talking about Lizzy. I love Lizzy's my favorite band of all time. I never need to hear Boys Are Back in Town ever again. But it's about exposing people to the other stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what the Butcher Shop group is on Facebook. That's what that's all about. I'm not going to post Boys Are Back in Town. You know that song. But I will play Heart Attack. I will post that because you haven't heard that probably. So it's about trying to turn people on to other stuff. And that's what all this stuff is all about.
Yeah.
Right.
That's awesome, man. So, hey, listen, man, that's the show. Andy, what do we got? What's the tally here?
Oh, well, the tally is the winner. The album that wins is Thunder and Lightning.
Wow.
Yes. It got 5 songs. No, it got 4 songs. Black Rose got 3, and Jailbreak got 3.
Okay.
Wow. So, Lizzy's last album, they go out with a bang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that fucker right there, huh?
That's beautiful.
Beautiful, man.
Oh, there you go. This is a good shot.
That is so cool.
Nice.
Dude.
Signed by Sykes and Gorham.
Oh, that's so
killer.
awesome. Love that picture too, man.
That was that's finding the gatefold of this. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Yeah.
And,
all right, man.
Thank you for Patrick Bean for saying this is the best freaking discussion ever.
That's awesome.
And because we had such a great panel that loves this band and knows what they're talking about. So thank you so much. Also to Jimmy Swartz for being there from the beginning of the episode and giving all of his picks along with us. Thank y'all so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you also for Alden Mark. Well, Mark Alden Taylor, thank you for watching. I really hope, like you said, this show is going to get him to deep dig even more.
Deep dive, yeah.
Through this band, because he learned so much from us. So that's what this is all about. You know, sharing music, talking about it.
It's all new to you.
Yeah.
If you've never heard it, it's all new to you, which is fantastic.
And next week on Black Spinner Circle, this episode came from Brad. So we are going to be ranking the Blue Oyster Cult albums.
Ooh, that's a good one, dude.
That's what we're doing next Wednesday. I'm not too sure we're going to rank them all or just do our top 10.
And
my number one is
top 10.
Okay, so we're going to be doing our top 10 Blue Oyster Cult next week.
And then the week after that, we're going to do my idea that I was going to do tonight, but I wanted to hold it off until the end of the month because I wanted to get the Lizzy in for St. Patrick's Day and kind of coincide with that. Yeah. My pick, because we're in March, we're in the 3rd month of the year. I want to do top 10 plus 5 honorables, 3rd albums by power trios. What is your favorite albums? 3rd albums by power trios. That's going to make you think a bit, dude. You know what I mean? So I want to get a little creative here. It's got to be the 3rd albums by, power trios. So your favorites, top 10 plus 5 honorables.
Yep.
Whoever wants to be on, just let me know, dude. It's all cool. That gets the brain muscles thinking there, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Butch kind of inspires me a little bit of this with going by months, like
Themes.
every January I think was like first tracks or something on album.
Yeah, it's just whatever I come up with. It's to me, it's about trying to do like a radio show.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to do. Is just different themes, and then it challenges myself to come up with shit, which is fun.
So, dude, the one you just did, top 20 1984 albums, dude. That's fucking shit, dude. Wow. There's so many great albums came out in that year.
That was a wild year for music.
Holy shit.
It's incredible.
But anyway, Butch, what do you got going on, man? You got anything going on else, or
no? Just the Butcher Shop. And anyone that's not a part of the Butcher Shop, please find me on Facebook. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun. Is this just all in just typing form?
Yeah,
people just interacting all day long, and that's what it's all about, man. Sharing music and I try to turn people on to stuff that they might have missed or never heard before. That's my passion. Just like that's what Lizzy to me is about. Yeah. I try to turn people on to Lizzy because I love them, and there's nothing not to like about Lizzy. It's just you probably haven't heard it yet, and then once you're exposed to it, there it is.
It hooks you in, man.
Other than that, it's hockey season, so go Edmonton Oilers and go Rangers.
Chris, man, what do you got coming up, buddy?
Just Decibel Geek podcast, just regular episodes every. We're doing a Fresh Blood episode for tomorrow. We find bands that are like within their first 2-3 albums and spin tracks off of them, and it's usually independent, a lot of independent stuff. There
you go.
Yeah, we stay away from the major labels. Look for the underground gold. That's what always try to find that.
Give the new blood some chance, man.
Yeah, and we're getting a little back into doing some interviews. We had Charlie Kendall from Metal Shop on.
Oh, no way!
Yeah, and had a great hour-long talk with him. And if you don't know, Metal Shop is back with new episodes, and Charlie hasn't lost a thing. And I got him to do something funny because does anybody remember the TV show Cheaters from the 90s? It was about cheating spouses,
right?
Where they follow him around with surveillance, and they had a narrator guy on there. I always thought it sounded like Charlie Kendall from Metal Shop, and I researched before he came on, and he's like, "No, it's not me. It's not me." I'm like, "Yeah, but do me a favor. Can you just say up next, the confrontation?" And he did it, and it sounded just like the guy.
Oh shit!
But and then of course I got him say, "This is Charlie Kendall from Metal Shop, and you're listening to Decibel Geek." And it's like, all right, my life's made now because that show was required listening on a weekly basis. Yeah, and just a hilarious guy, and glad he's back doing it. And then we have another big interview next week, but I am not at liberty to discuss it at this moment.
All right, cool. How about you, Brad? Yarg Metal?
Yeah, yargmetal.com. That's YARG. I think it was Udo who kept trying to call it Yard Metal. And his Sven kept saying, "No, Dad, it's Yarg. Yarg." Okay, enough about us. I'm still trying to finish Chris and Aaron's top albums of 2023. I almost said 1983. 2023. Yeah, it's a great one. So I'm really digging that. And
thanks, man.
Yeah, so I'm listening to him, and I'm still trying to catch up on all the music I bought in 2023 and get it on Yarg Metal. So
cool.
Yeah, the what I'm listening to right now is Lynch Mob.
Awesome.
Babylon. Yeah, I'm trying to pick my favorite songs off of that to get on the air.
And I know you got into that Lucifer too, as well, right?
Lucifer. Yes, I did. Yeah, when you talked about that last week, I immediately listened to it, and I did like it. And I haven't bought it yet, but I'm going to buy it, and I'll obviously get them on there. Lucifer V to be like Riot V, which I'm going to get that album too. Yeah.
Cool.
So there you go. That's what we're doing. We're rocking 24/7, except for when the power goes out.
Travis, man, you got anything going on, brother? Except going to sleep.
Is he okay?
There?
Is he okay?
Travis, you there? You with
us?
us?
I'm there. I think it buffered for a second, but I'm here.
All right. What do you got going on? Anything, man?
No, nothing really.
Okay.
Just hopefully I can come back on and join you guys again sometime.
Right.
I'd love to talk to the Oyster Cult, so if you guys need another guest next week, I'm your man. They're in my top 10 favorite bands, so I'd love to talk about the OC.
Okay. All right, man. Andy, man, take us out, brother.
Yeah, and I'm also watching Brad. Brad and I will start up our baseball podcast at the end of the month.
Next week. Next week.
Next week? No, it's the week after. It's on the 26th.
That's not what my phone says. Okay,
Okay. Anyway, it's called.
Hey, Butch, sort us out. Start yelling at Andy for me.
Let's go O's.
Right. It's called
Oh,
Pop.
good.
Called Pop, Commit, and Crack the Bat. So that starts at the end of the month. We're going to start at the end of spring training and a couple of days before the season starts. I know the Dodgers play in Korea, but I'm not counting that. I'm going to wait for until the rest of the teams start off. So we got that going on. Of course, right here, Black Spinner Circle, and also I got another podcast with Kate Dore and with Jerry Soupy called Three Shots Down, and we're going to start recording our third episode, which is going to be about Blaze, which is a country singer from the late 70s, early 80s that is kind of a folklore, mythical kind of character. So we're going to talk about that. So that's what I got going on.
All right, man. Well, on behalf of myself and Andy, Butch, again, Chris, Brad, Travis, thank you guys so much for coming on. This was a fucking phenomenal episode.
Awesome.
And Lizzy's always great. Lizzy's always great to talk about, man. I mean, this is awesome, man. And until next time, man, everybody, man, cheers. Yep. Have a great night.
Cheers.
Guys,
take care, man.
Everybody for their time. Thank you for being on.
And we went over 2 hours, man.
That was a blast. Thanks for the invite.
All right, love you guys.
It's partially mine too.
Have a great
Bye,
night.
everyone.
See ya.
Cheers.
Bye.